Hey.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Zendaya, Josh, Mike. Actually, let me do that again. Great start. Let me try that again. Zendaya, Mike, Josh.
Nice.
Welcome to 7:30.
Thanks.
Only took one rehearsal.
Have you seen it again?
I only seen it once.
Well,
Keep it that way.
once you come back, you let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, hold
People
on.
who've seen it twice
Okay, talk to me, guys. Talk to me.
generally come out. Well, after we've told them to come out. No, you get, me and Z get a lot of flack.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when you see it on second viewing and you're like,
Wait a minute.
Well, 'cause, okay, great. It's like, yeah, all three of our characters are flawed. I'm like, what did Art do?
he started the
Watch
whole
it
What the-
again.
thing. He started the
He
whole
starts
thing.
the whole
Tell me,
thing.
what
He's the
the-
reason for the argument. He's the reason for the injury.
So at the beginning of the
He's
film.
the reason for the injury.
Yes.
No, Z.
At the
no.
beginning, at the beginning of the film,
fair.
let's just go through.
I don't
it.
know.
Okay,
At the
talk
beginning
to
of the
me.
film,
Yeah.
spoiler alert. At the beginning of the film, they're all good.
Yeah.
They're kissing in a hotel.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a game, like
Yeah.
whoever wins the tennis match gets to go out with Tashi. I win.
win.
Yeah.
I'm going out with Tashi. We're having a pretty good time.
Yeah, life's
we don't
good.
see it on screen, but we're
I think-
happy.
yeah.
We're happy together.
You guys feel really insecure about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think
I'm not buying
I
it.
think they could have had it all. Is all I'm saying.
Listen, we're on the
bear with
time
me.
here. You're not selling
We're
me.
happy. Wait. We're happy. Then they go to Stanford.
Yeah.
I come to visit.
You're
just before I come
literally
to
just
visit.
telling the
Just
whole
before-
story, by the way. I just want to point out, you were just giving the movie away.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't care. That's
Okay.
fine.
So
You
then
can
let
chill
me
out.
ask this then. Let me.
Before.
Okay, go ahead,
Before,
go ahead.
what happens? He comes to me. He says, he's not in love with you.
Right.
I said, what?
Well, he wasn't lying.
But why would you? Do we know that?
And then he says to
And then
me
he says,
My man.
that I'm not in love with her. I'm like, I am. And then he tells her that I'm not. And then she gets injured, ruins her career.
You
tells
are
me to jump.
literally giving the movie away.
Okay. You know what? Okay. What's
and then
cool?
we see each other again. It's magic. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my
Yeah,
god.
I know, but jeez. Okay.
You think you're not protected, but you are.
So,
You're over here
Explain
trying
this
your
to
best.
me. You guys have to explain this to me, okay? Because we've all heard
This
of
is my
love
favorite
triangles.
interview all day.
But thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you.
So we all agree he's the worst.
Yeah.
No.
Watch it again. All right.
I have the spike, of course, at the end.
Yes.
I guess.
catch you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I got really into
Nothing happens.
Wait.
The movie doesn't end.
It was I don't want to spoil the movie.
Don't give too much away.
But it was a scene between Josh, Z, and myself, and we were rehearsing the scene, and it's this moment where she takes over the scene, and I remember watching her, and I was like, oh, she's great.
Track 2 is back to Patrick, right? Done.
like when art ruins Patrick's relationship with Tashi and
Thank
sets
you.
off this carnage.
Say it again.
Yeah. Patrick kind of loves it. He sort of, when he accuses you of being a snake, it's like, I'm grabbing you and I'm loving it. So I think, in the end, I really enjoyed this character that really owns his troubles.
Honestly, there's so much like, well, I think they were this, and I think they did this, and I'm on their side, and I don't like this guy, and I think this happened. So that's the fun part. There's a lot of strong opinions.
Yeah, I feel like I want to watch it again because I feel like my perspective's going to change each time I
absolutely will.
watch it.
Yeah.
Hi, Vogue. Come get ready. Come get ready with us for the challenge premiere.
No, one more time.
I haven't been on a set in a long time. Hi, Vogue. Come get ready with us for the challenges premiere in Australia. Come on. Go.
That's so small. It's a big moment.
What other job do you think you'd be doing if it weren't for acting?
Mike
Mike?
scraps. Mike?
You can start, Josh.
Okay. I often think about it. I think there's lots of things that I, at some point in my life, would like to do. One of them is make pots. And
Only pots.
yeah. Sorry, and make pots, not pot. I should.
Pots.
I'm glad you clarified.
But I saw an advertising the other day, a horticulture course. and I quite like to be better at gardening and become, you know, like emulate Monty Don, who you won't know Monty Don, but he's an iconic television gardener. I love him.
I always say my answer is a teacher, because both my parents are teachers. I grew up kind of watching what their work does for people and how impactful it is and how important it is, and yeah, I don't know. I love kids, and it just seems extremely rewarding, and it's a very special job.
I agree. And Mike, I need to know what this answer is.
Well, I actually have thought about it.
Okay.
A little bit, and it is to be a clown for children's birthday parties.
It's specific, but I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. Right response.
Yeah.
I feel like people would hire you for that.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
You would hire yourself.
You have a lot of work.
In a heartbeat.
Zendaya, I love how Josh
The balloons.
That you can make the balloon.
Dogs.
Got it. Dog specifically.
Pencils. Those are the easiest.
That's a skill.
You just blow it up. Because it's...
Oh, yeah.
You get what? Come on.
Sorry.
You guys are falling into the trap.
I'm thinking of circular balloons.
Oh.
A pencil, pasta noodles. I'm really good at it.
What was your other question?
Is this next
all
job
day
lined
about
up?
clowns.
Yeah,
today.
he's obsessed.
Microphones.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I mean, we were all I think we were also obsessed with the script, and we were really fortunate to have a really good prep period on it. So I think we were training for like 4 or 5 weeks or something.
I think it was 6.
6 weeks. And we would train in the morning and then we'd rehearse. And so we'd all sit around a table, which is really rare for a film generally, but particularly something like this. And we would just kind of like bash through the scenes, and Luke would throw stuff at us and we'd throw it back or do what he told us to. And so, yeah, it was like kind of thrilling. I feel like it was such a mad experience in terms of the script is like a drug from the beginning to end. It's like a shotgun's sent off and then it just rides through. And I sort of felt like that with the whole shooting process. Every day was like we were not rushing through it, but it felt like we were achieving so much so quickly.
How did you make eating a churro look so sexy?
Thank you. I don't know if I did. What I will say is that I hadn't had. Do you remember that was my first churro?
Oh yeah!
That was my first churro,
and I hadn't know about those.
And I didn't have. We were like, I hadn't eaten anything that day, so I was starving and tasted my first churro. And churros are extraordinary.
Especially when you're hungry.
Yeah, so delicious. So I ate my one and then I ate his.
Yes. So was that not even scripted? Were you just starving?
We would do things like that.
Because the churro wasn't
Kind of.
scripted. The churro was something you guys kind of found, right?
Yeah.
With Luca?
That was definitely a Luca thing.
That was definitely a Luca thing, but I also think there was something quite funny about, like, there's another scene early on when we're eating hot dogs and I finish mine and take his.
Yeah.
I do it a
throw
few times and then throw the rest.
No, people don't notice that.
I know.
And it's so funny.
I've got a theory why. It's because the angle of the camera at that moment.
It's behind you.
It's behind, and I throw it, and the paper floats rather than. I didn't scrumple the paper enough.
You didn't scrumple.
Is that your one regret? Yeah.
Reshoot.
I know you guys had to do some training to get in shape for the movie and eat properly, so like churros and bananas. But explain this love triangle.
Who was the most likely to break, not in a tennis way, or corpse on set? Just start laughing.
To break.
Really? Me?
Sorry.
Start laughing?
Yeah, in the middle of a take.
It's definitely you. It's absolutely you.
I'm not surprised because you spend a lot of this movie right in people's personal space.
Yeah, it's true, actually. I do.
You are in there.
I'm really right there, aren't
I? The movie emotionally.
Would you like to add anything?
I think you actually give a really good overlay, understanding as to what the three of them are ultimately attracted to at the end of the day, and why all three of them need to kind of be together.
Okay, come on, I need a mic drop moment. Give it to me.
Oh God, the tennis. Yeah. Well, ultimately, right?
you get this question. How does he, because you're English,
Over
I've
to you.
chosen
Thanks.
you, how does he work with you on the intimate scenes, in the sensual, sexual scenes? How does it work?
Well, I think in some way, I mean, the
As a
film.
director, I mean.
Yeah.
Rock my neck. I'm so
You need a
sorry.
chiropractor.
Yeah.
Get one.
Sorry, continue.
Josh and Mike, like, do you look at Zendaya's work? I mean, you've obviously seen her work before, but prior to doing this, did you look at it to say, okay, this is what I'm going up against? It's not a competition, but...
Honestly, I actually I had never seen either Josh or Z's work
Oh, that's
before working with them.
Brilliant.
So to answer your question, no.
And he hasn't seen it still.
Phil,
Yeah.
since.
But they're great.
Zendaya, I've got to ask you about a rumour. Is it true that when you signed on, you were Googling, what is the crown?
I probably did that.
It sounds like Mike.
Yeah, it sounds more like Mike. No, I had seen The Crown.
Okay.
And upon reading it, I remember thinking to myself, I said, you know who would be great? And I was like, the guy from The Crown. and I became aware of his work, and it was Josh O'Connor. And here he is. So manifesting, you know.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mike had to Google
Literally
the crown.
Google,
Yeah. I did.
But both Z and Luca, independently of each other,
Yeah.
their first thought when they
Before I
went
even
to
met
Patrick was me, which is alarming. But yeah.
For you, Zendaya, what did make you think of him?
I just thought he was brilliant actor. Like, and I don't know, I don't know if it's not that I didn't know him personally, so I couldn't be like, oh, this guy's an arrogant asshole, you know, he would be great. No, I had seen his work and I thought that he was so talented and I wanted to work with him anyway. And so when it was presented, I was like, oh, wait a minute, the guy from The Crown. And then when I met with Luca, he was like, so I'm thinking, Josh O'Connor. And I was like, no way.
You guys believe in invisible string, that sometimes people are just meant to be in your life forever?
Yeah, I believe in that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also believe that that there's always even if it's not forever, there's that something someone can say to you, even if you meet them once, it can stick with you forever.
Yeah.
Like impact of people that they can have in your life or change the trajectory of your life, or make you think things and learn things you never thought were possible. And that can be, and also that some relationships are meant to be for like that little period of time, that friendship or that whatever, was meant for that moment where you needed it.
Yeah.
I had seen Z's work and I'd seen Mike's work, but I didn't rewatch just before, just to
You don't have Greatest Showman on a loop in the trailer.
no.
But there are movies that you watch. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm getting ready for a project, I'll kind of see, is there something comparable, or is there a kind of character that kind of does this thing, and I'll watch. Or, or even read, there's research things that go into it in that regard when you're doing that. But,
But not our work specifically.
Sorry.
Our work is no use to
I
me.
love you guys.
Okay, Mike is like, I am so not interested in your work. Sorry, I'll work with you to the end of time, but I do not have any.
I don't want to see anything you're in.
I think the way the script was written by Justin, who's amazing and so talented, your stomach wanted to add something. Is that that there's.
Did you have playlists that helped you kind of get in the mood? Did you listen to certain music that helped you in the training process?
When we actually trained in the gym, we would just put on over the speakers just to have stuff to work out to.
Darnell was our DJ.
Oh yeah, Darnell was our DJ. Yeah.
I have a playlist still on my Spotify which is entitled Boston Marathon, and I think it's because I think that Boston was obvious. We were shooting in Boston. Sure. But also, I had this. Mike and I went to watch the Boston Marathon when we were there, and it inspired me. And I was like, I'm going to do the London Marathon.
And he did.
Oh, wow.
I did do it. In
That's
the
what
end.
inspired you to do
Yeah,
it.
but
That's
it kind of came from this playlist of, and I'll have a playlist for most projects, but it was a playlist for challenges,
right?
That was full of appropriately motivational music for sport. and that kind of ended up merging into my London marathon playlist.
Can you give me any examples?
My poor stomach
Yeah,
is
you, like-
going crazy, so I'm so sorry for that. Some examples.
Do you have any examples?
Yeah. I had this Nick Cave song, which is actually totally inappropriate for sport, but it was like very inspirational, and I'm trying to remember the title of it. I had, what else did I have? I had some Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Nice.
In there.
Fun.
I had loads. It's a very long playlist, but I can only think of 2 songs.
You know. Shit happens. Riveting footage.
Is this what you're into?
Confident about that?
What about for you, Zendaya? Anything bring out the competitive edge?
You know, it's funny. I think we've realized during this tour that my competitiveness comes from wanting to protect the characters. So for me, I've realized that I've become very competitive in trying to get people to feel less harshly.
We were in London
about
and Zendaya was straight up like, show of hands, who likes Tashi the most?
Team Tashi.
Tashi, like blatant.
Listen,
She did
listen.
great.
I gotta support my girl. I gotta defend my girl. Okay.
Is there a certain point where you say to your friends and family and agents, like, I'm never playing a teenager again. This is it. I'm good.
I think that decision was taken out of my hands. I got older. They stopped asking. But I have a funny feeling that wasn't directed at me. So I'll let you guys answer.
All of you can pull it off.
I was
Just barely.
I think
It's really cusping right there, yeah.
I bought it.
Just enough.
Yeah, I would say for me, differently, I still look the same as I did when I was 16 years old.
Oh, well, isn't that nice?
Listen,
Must be nice. And
just tell us about that, Z.
it works to advantage in some ways. We have an excellent group of hair and makeup teams that
There must have been like a love triangle at some point on the OC.
That's the one?
Sorry.
That's really,
yours?
really got
I
you.
loved the OC when I was
breaking news.
It was super popular.
Love that.
loved it, and I
Yeah,
really
it
wanted
was.
to be Seth from the OC. He was like so cool to me.
Anyone else? Anything jump out, guys?
How many love triangles are you just like consuming?
Yeah, often.
Often.
I usually look up like movies with love triangles.
Yeah,
and
specifically.
Welcome to my life. That's what I did. Yeah.
I'm not. You know what's funny? It's like when you get in interviews and they ask you to like pick a song or pick whatever. Immediately you're like, I
Slotted
have never
speed.
seen a movie before.
Oh, Bridget Jones is a good one.
That is a great
That's
one.
a good one.
Josh
Hugh
is
Grant.
winning the interview.
Right,
I'm
you're
winning.
killing it.
Why is everything a competition
competition.
with you?
I just watched your movie. Everything is
fair
a
enough, yeah.
competition.
It's true.
I'm
It's very
sorry. You
true.
made the
Nah,
movie.
man.
Yeah, it's your
You're
fault.
projecting.
But who in the room is the best at tennis?
Yeah.
Very good.
Who in the room is the worst? Interesting. Okay.
It's definitely.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You know what it was? It was a lot of like this because we
Yeah.
saw that he was really good, and so I remember locking eyes with you, like we're kind of not doing what he's doing.
We're going to work on this at home in our own free time.
Yeah.
Well, talk about you, because actually the director says that you were extremely intense in your preparation. Is that not true?
I mean, he was the most.
Mike's the best
Yeah,
tennis player.
he
There's
was.
no two ways about it.
Yeah, he was better from the beginning. Yeah. And also, like.
A lot better.
A lot better from the beginning. And definitely, I think, fairly enough, outworked us in many aspects.
You, sir, I was like watching your tennis out there. There was like, you put in some tennis work for that one. So I'd love for both of you to talk about that day. But you in particular, I was watching them serves. Like you were putting it out there on that one.
Well,
as a former tennis player, though, I will say. Everybody's great.
You played tennis.
He is legit
Yes, I
really
did.
good.
I did play tennis. So
Well,
yeah.
I had a leg up.
Look at him. Look at him. You got a real tennis player telling you like, I saw the serve, sir.
When I found out I got the job, I was in Ohio.
I know.
And I immediately, like, when.
Who out of the three of you would actually take it in real life? Who was walking away sort of the best tennis player? Speak your truth.
Yeah, I mean, it's Mike Weiss. He's an amazing tennis player. Yeah. Yeah, he beat us every day of the week. He wouldn't admit it because he's way too humble, but yeah, it would be Mike Weiss.
It was just, you know, that training and that regiment and sticking in with that hard work.
I'm so glad you did. And again, everyone was great in it, but he knows though. You know that you were like, they know.
It's just.
Look at him. He's smiling.
It's just work, and that's true across the board. And like, you know, whenever I try to approach any role, it's just that's it. You know, you just do the work.
We worked really hard at trying to look like tennis players. Mike does look like a tennis player. He won't admit it, but he legit was the best.
Oh, you mean when he plays? I thought you meant like his face just is a tennis player's face or something.
Well, that as well. But Mike's actually a good tennis player. Zendaya was like unbelievable at copying her double, and so got that down. I just did it with a prayer. And in all honesty, I had the best double who was like amazing. And I think probably they used my double more than anyone else.
Well, Josh.
We needed more hands on deck.
Specifically, we
needed more hands on deck.
Who would you say became the ultimate best tennis player out of you three, Mike? Because I'm hearing a rumor it might have been you.
No.
Okay.
He won't take the compliment.
Okay.
He won't accept
I'm
it.
trying to push the compliment this way.
Yeah.
But Mike,
No.
did you fight?
In real life, because you all went through some intense training, right?
Yeah.
In real life, who's going to win?
He'll point away that it's Mike.
It's always Mike. He's very, very humble about it. Hence the reason he's pointing over here.
He's very humble, but he also keeps choosing Zendaya. We're very much neck and neck.
Josh told me that you are an incredible tennis player, that you really left no stone unturned when it came to showing them up.
That's not true at all.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's just a movie.
Well, I'll tell you, it's
I'll
funny.
also say, just to cut in there,
Yeah, yeah.
they're also really lovely people.
No. Why are you lying?
I'm not. You're gonna accept this compliment today, Mike Weiss.
Damn it.
But they are, and so when you walk into a situation like you're saying, you feel these nerves and this excitement, but also just kind of terrified.
Out of the three of you, who was the best at tennis school and training? Who are we pointing at? Really, the guy, fellas? Okay. So if you guys played in a match today, who would take?
Oh no,
it?
sorry, don't be deceived.
Yeah.
He pointed generally over here just
Okay.
because
He's being.
there's no two ways about it. Mike is the best teness player.
Are you being modest, Mike?
No.
He is.
Here's what I'll say.
Why can't you just admit it, dude? Because you know we suck. Like, there was just no.
Well, let me answer his question really quick,
Okay.
because you asked who would win in a game of tennis. That's not necessarily indicative as to who would win, because in tennis, you're actually only as good as the person you're hitting against. So if you're playing with people that suck, you suck.
Okay, but so they're good.
Except that
They
Mike
are.
would still win because if he did one serve, I'd run.
Which one of you will win if you like play each other?
I'm not even trying.
Yeah,
Now-
this guy.
Now, air.
And Mike is definitely the best.
Yeah.
And then
Of the
air
real
tennis, 100%. Yeah, of the real tennis.
This mic. I'm talking about this mic.
That's why you didn't say that much about your experience with tennis, if you're that good.
Mike's really good.
It's not.
He is.
I'm not.
It's annoying.
It's okay.
I was like that first day I came in and I saw Mike. I was like, shit.
Yeah,
and then I
we're
saw
good.
you and I was like,
Oh,
all right,
we're
we're
good.
good. We're good.
Yeah.
We have time. We have time.
Are you guys naturally competitive in any aspects of your life?
Yes.
Obviously.
Apparently
yeah?
I am.
How so?
Well, with each other, obviously.
Yeah. Mike insists he delivered the best performance in this film. I know that.
Yeah.
100%. My character's the best. He's the most innocent. I'm amazing. That's it.
This is what all we've been trying to get him to do this whole time.
Yeah, finally admit it.
That's the most truthful you've been this whole time.
We got him.
We got him.
So nice to shoot on at my house.
What am I gonna do with this?
Get out!
No, this one's coming early. How many times was the slap filmed?
2?
I did the what?
The slap.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You didn't hear that?
No, I suddenly was like, did that happen in this film? But it does.
It does.
2 takes?
2 takes, yeah. Very few.
Nice.
Which is, according to you, the winning move for each one of them?
I'm sorry. So which one? So the
What's our winning move?
Yeah, for the character.
Like in Mortal Kombat. Like
Yeah,
you're
what's
like,
our finish?
the white count.
And who was most likely to forget their lines in front of Luca?
You guys were pretty sharp. I don't remember.
No, we drilled our lines.
Yeah. I think we were all pretty. I don't think there was ever a dry or a corpse, to be honest.
No, but if
it
one
were to be,
it
it'd be me.
would be you.
I was on the edge. Yeah.
I love this setup. It feels like I'm either interviewing you or I've like hired 3 therapists. This is great.
Yeah.
Lay down.
Yeah, I should be. Tell me about my insecurity issues, please. Firstly,
You all are wonderful theater kids with beautiful voices. What's a song you want to hear the other ones sing? Any song. It doesn't have to be a theater song.
I would like to hear Josh sing "If I Could Turn Back Time" by Cher.
I can do that anytime.
I know.
Not now.
Well, let's hit it.
Not in front of the camera, but anytime in private.
This is so specific.
Yeah.
I've never thought about this.
I don't know. It just came to me.
I would like to hear Dear Evan Hansen again.
Yeah, I'd like to hear
The album.
Get the album. You can get the album. What would we like to hear Zendaya
I'm
sing?
just saying, I know it very well, so
Yeah, he's killing it.
I would like
I'd
a
love
live.
to
Do you
sing-
have like a karaoke go-to?
Yeah.
What is it?
Not telling.
Whoa.
What? That was so. Oh, I'd like, come on, be
Yes,
more
combative.
open-minded. Yeah, combative. No.
Angels by Robbie Williams.
Oh.
Thank you.
Do you have one?
Like
No.
a good go-to karaoke. I hate karaoke.
Me too, but if you had one.
Karaoke terrifies me. I had
Yeah.
a bad experience. I had a birthday party when I was like 14.
What happened?
It was just like I'm very shy. I was like I didn't want to do it, and I went
Yeah.
up there and I felt really awkward about it, and
Yeah.
I was just like I hated that.
Yeah.
I was like never again. No karaoke parties for me.
get-
I've been told that my Australian accent
Your
just
vibes.
sounds like a New Zealand accent.
Oh.
When I try to do it, they're like that does not sound like here. That sounds
Let's
like
hear
there.
you go.
No, now I'm on the spot. I can't do it. Sorry.
The thing is, when she does the New Zealand accent, it sounds like
Like Australian.
Okay.
It's a bit of a
Yeah,
sticky one.
22.
We did a chemistry read.
We did.
Yeah.
In this very hotel.
Really?
Full circle.
Well.
That's right.
Here we
That is true.
Are they allowed to know that?
I completely forgot that.
Yeah.
What if they just brought you in, Josh?
Yeah, I just hoped.
Yeah.
A hope and a prayer.
Yeah.
He'll do, they said.
Yeah, he'll do.
Did you guys have
Why do you think you were chosen for your role?
Churros.
Yeah, churros. I actually don't know. One of the things that like baffled me.
Faites un maximum de bruit pour le Cast and Crew du Film Challenge. So, je vais poser quelques petites questions, je ferai la traduction. J'espère que je ferai une bonne traduction, je ferai au mieux. I hope my translation is good. But my very first question is going to be for you, Luca. Can you tell the audience, what made you want to do this movie? You felt like when you wrote the script, you were like, I need to do it. Why?
I think the reasons are on this stage for Amy.
How hard is it? I'm going to ask the guys this question, obviously. I suppose, how good are you at dealing with Zendaya's unimpressed face? Because I've had it a couple of times. And in this movie, you both get it a lot.
What does my unimpressed face look like?
Come on, let's have it.
It's sort of like eyebrows down.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There it is.
Looking familiar.
Yeah,
good.
it's killer.
Felt like marriage.
My unimpressed
I
face.
actually remember
Dark and
there's
true.
one specifically in the film, which is, I think it's one of my favourite looks, which is when I come and say, do you want to go out for a cigarette?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting.
Tap,
And
tap,
you're like, you do this look. And it is killer, isn't it? It really
is.
floors you.
How did
that practice?
One, all of us were terrified.
Yeah.
Because we were super insecure about it. And it was a daunting test that was asked of us.
I heard you say that you used to be a very, very shy child.
I am still, yeah.
Are you still?
Absolutely, yeah. No, this is all an act. No. But it's true. I mean, I am an actor, and and I think fashion in many ways is like the shield, the guard. It's the thing to like become a character, to come out here and do the interviews and do the things, and then I take it off, and I'm, they've seen the the other version, which
That's
is
the thing that's like really common with actors. I think, more often than not, we are putting on like a face. It's really hard. Most actors that I've come across, we're all kind of deeply insecure and trying to find stuff about ourselves and hide stuff about ourselves and playing characters that kind of don't reveal us so much.
I will say when you're trying a new skill, at least I feel incredibly insecure about doing it in front of people, and we were on courts next to each other, so I was like, please just don't look over here. Just don't look at me.
True, yeah.
Please, because I was right by the windows, I was right in the front, and I was like so embarrassed.
Is it nerve-wracking watching your film in a room full of strangers, or would it be worse watching it for the first time in, say, a room full of close friends?
It's always nerve-wracking. And it's always pretty horrible seeing yourself on screen. As I feel like anyone can imagine that, right? If ever like a friend takes a video of you on their iPhone or something, it's like the worst thing is then seeing it.
Watch it back.
Yeah, it's horrible. So it's just like that times a million. I think I was like obsessed with how can I get reasonably good at tennis. And actually, I remember there was a day where Z came in and I was feeling really anxious. I'd spoken to Mike one night and I was like, God, what am I going to do? Like, I am terrible at tennis and I'm playing a very good tennis player. And I remember that we came in one day and you were like, hey, we need to focus on like the politics and the physicality of a tennis match. Like what it feel like. We're actors, we're not tennis players. And what does it feel like to be alone on one side of the court? Or what does it feel like to be sat on the side of a court? And like, how do they eat? And all those mannerisms. And as soon as I like unlocked that and was able to look at it as like, it's a bigger character study than just the like actual being good at tennis. Yeah. It really helped, I think.
What I can sacrifice, like what should belong to me, what I can keep for myself, and what I owe the world. And so it's kind of like dancing between that all the time, because I never want to feel ungrateful or ever want to feel like I'm not, I don't know, just there's not gratitude and interaction in giving back, because I understand that like my job is it's like a, I don't know, it's you give and people receive and they want more, and I understand that is a transaction that affords me the ability to be here and do what I do. So I never want to feel ungrateful for that, but also when do I get to just...
Yeah, you got to reserve some, because you don't want to end up being bitter while you're actually doing it.
Exactly.
Because it is very giving, and it actually does feel very good to do it, but you have to at some point be like, okay, enough right now. Let me go and fill up the tank, kind of a thing. So when the thing comes around again, you're like, yes,
I can give it.
All of it.
So you better give us something. You didn't have nothing to give. We pulled it out. Just a little bit.
Who is the most competitive out of you three?
Well, if it's balloon making, I am.
Yeah.
You win.
He wins that time.
Yeah, you can have that one.
I don't think we're an overly competitive bunch.
No.
I think we genuinely on this film I think we were all kind of a little bit fearful and anxious when we first arrived to, how much we had to take on. And we were very supportive of each other, I think.
I would agree. I think we all didn't maybe understand or, I mean, when you go into a job, you don't assume that other people are as nervous as you are. You just assume that everybody's amazing and has their shit together and you're the only one who doesn't know what they're doing. So it was nice to just be able to like, I don't know, feel safe and feel supported and feel like, oh, you guys are also like nervous and just human too, and you guys want to do a good job just like I do. And I don't know, it was a great kind of group.
Like from the outside, I see Mike, like in West Side Story, and you're like in awe, and I see Zendaya in the Euphoria, and I'm like, oh my god. And you think that these people are like which I imagine everyone sees that with all actors in some ways, that they're like indestructible and like, but we're all a mess. We're all like super nervous and anxious, scared that we're not good enough, like, you know, have like bad things to say to ourselves. We're the three of us are very close. We're I think the big surprise to a lot of people who hear it, but also for me, was that, you know, Mike Feist and Zendaya are obviously incredible actors, and to rock up and see that they're all the same as me and we're all kind of shy and all sort of scared. It was
I think Zendaya has entered the building. I mean, Josh, come on.
Look at that. Come on.
Talk about a leading lady, right?
Yeah, she looks amazing.
You were saying you were giving so many compliments about Zendaya. How conveniently timed.
No, I planned it. Yeah, we were all kind of shy and in it together, and yeah, it was a treat. We're all very close, yeah. Obviously, working with these two was a treat, and
you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks very much. But yeah, really, I think it was just trying to find, you know, the three of us, now that I know Z and I know Mike, none of us are like our characters in any way, shape or form. So yeah, thank God. So much of the work was about feeling comfortable, you know, for me being like someone with bravado and confidence and attitude and trying to sit in that and not feel shy about it.
I just mirrored anything Josh did, essentially. Just did the opposite.
Any choice you do,
That's what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
No,
I'll do the opposite.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
Also, I think what was really interesting about this film was that, you know, it was totally unexpected. Like Z said earlier, you know, I remember going into those first fittings and being like, there's a pair of shorts that I wear. And I was like, they're so short, I would never wear those. And of course, I would never wear that. I'm not nothing like Patrick.
Purpley.
Purpley, like very high, tight shorts. It was a stroke of genius from Jonathan because there was no way of hiding. It was like, you have to feel confident in those.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? So he was like, it can
Patrick
also
would.
inform Patrick
Yeah.
Wood,
Yeah.
and it can also the power it has is to inform the performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's extremely important. It's very informative when you're kind of developing a character and when you first step on set and you're starting to wear the skin. I always define it. Like whenever I do rehearsals in theater, I try and like wear shoes, you know, that are, so I'm like actually,
the way you-
it does.
yeah.
It changes the way you walk. It changes your mannerisms and the things. It's extremely important. It's like a very informative piece of everything that goes together. To just kind of navigate, you know, the sensitivities and ensure that everybody just feels safe with what they're doing. It allowed everybody. Listen, here's the thing, as like an actor, it's like the most embarrassing thing that you could possibly do. And because your job is to like fully believe that what you are doing is real. And you're like wearing a wig and you're dressed, you know what I mean? Like,
I love that we were talking the other day about how like people see our side, but they don't realize that the other side is like a crew of people.
Yeah.
Like
And-
we're not alone in that room.
there's like 100 people
there's a
watching you.
camera like coming in like that.
And that's like with everything, you know what I mean? Like, I mean that we're talking
Stay in it.
specifically,
Stay in it.
we're talking specifically about this like sensual scene, but that's like acting in general. You know, you are in a ridiculous situation in reality, and you have to like trick yourself mentally and have this kind of mental fortitude to be so committed and dedicated to what you're doing that you actually want to try to believe it. Like that's the goal. That's what you're trying to do. And in order to put yourself into such a vulnerable position, you have to feel comfortable and safe enough to allow yourself to be ridiculous. Like, acting is a foolish profession. If you are good at this, you will be a fool. And you want to put yourself into being a fool, right? So, like, but in order to do that, you have to feel comfortable enough to allow yourself to be in that ridiculous position. And so it just helped that.
I feel like that all the time. All the time.
And that's with every project. You know, you show up to work, it's the first day, your imposter syndrome kicks in. You're like, oh my God, I'm going to be the worst thing in this thing. Right. You know, I don't deserve to be here kind of a thing. But the truth, you know, we all felt that way. And it's kind of nice when you can just, when you can actually just like be honest about that.
It's the wig for me.
I'm so curious, and this is a real curiosity question. how many hours did you spend in the ADR booth doing breaths and efforts?
Oh my goodness.
Because this is a tennis movie, and there's a bit where you just run.
Because you guys do more.
Yeah,
you guys do a
grunting.
lot more
But
tennis.
can you
than me.
imagine how embarrassing it is? We haven't talked about this, like, together. But it was embarrassing. You're stood in a
Doing all
dark
the-
room.
Doing
with
what?
People like
What did
this.
you do?
I was doing all the movements with like a microphone.
You
I had to
did?
hold the mic and I was going like, and I'm
Nailed
holding
it.
that good as well. And it was so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Being an actor is very embarrassing sometimes.
You just have to go, oh, how was your day? Cringe. Just
Yeah, cringe.
5 hours of cringe.
Just grunting in a room.
Yeah.
By myself.
Pretending to hold a tennis racket.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why I'm like, I don't think you pretended to hold the tennis racket.
No.
I could tell. I could just tell.
And are there ADR sessions for the grunts and the yells and the screams?
There definitely were ADR sessions. I had a very, very embarrassing... Look, being an actor 80% of the time is incredibly embarrassing. And so but one of the most embarrassing things I find is ADR, because particularly if you're having to do something physical, because you have to move to move around to get the physicality. But you don't want to move around too much because you're in a studio and there's microphones. And so I did a lot of grunting in a studio in London. But the grunting is like, it's weird. I used to hate, when I watched tennis when I was younger, I'd always prefer the tennis players who didn't make a noise. Because I love the sight, particularly because Wimbledon, our competition, is so silent and delicate, and you just hear the hitting of the ball back and forth. And the grunt would always be like kind of jarring.
Really?
Yeah, I sort of didn't
That's
like
my favorite part because I like.
I love it now.
So did you guys make a conscious choice as to what your character's grunt would sound like?
Yeah.
I mimicked you.
It sounded just like that.
That's a terrifying thought. That's a terrifying thought.
Well, the come on was always written. And it's interesting because to your point, I always knew that tennis players made sounds, but it wasn't until I went to watch Pepperdine. I went with Brad early days to go watch the women's team there, and man, they scream like guttural, like ah, like it's serious. Aww.
Hey, man.
You must have moments with director Luca. He is a legend. Were you ever just sort of caught in the moment going, I've just got a note from Luca? And do you have any memorable ones?
Absolutely, I think
More sweat.
more sweat. Yeah.
I'll get right on that. Sorry, just press the button.
Yeah, exactly.
What were the other alternate names you think could have applied to this movie other than Codependency, the movie? Attractive tennis rivals.
Attractive tennis rivals.
More sweat, the movie.
I was going to say, we need to talk more about that because particularly in that final, I was about to say fight, the final match.
It is really, a fight.
We're drenched.
It's a battle.
Were there people running up to you with like spray guns or chucking buckets?
But I will say, Mike,
A lot of it was real.
Yeah,
Like,
Mike started when he knew
was
that
skipping.
Yeah, when he knew that like they were going to start shooting, he created his own.
Some people can cry on cue. This guy.
Sweat on cue.
Sweat on cue.
He can sweat on cue.
He's doing it now.
Yeah.
We were talking about him.
You're just thinking,
Just
can I
give
do
him
it?
a compliment.
Yeah.
I'm like, when is this day over?
You look fantastic.
Great.
Yeah. See, it's happening.
There's beading right there.
There's a shot in the film that I was trying to perfect called the tweener. Where
As you can see, his extensive knowledge
the
called
tweener.
tweener.
And you have to hit the ball through your legs like this. You can't see it on camera like that.
Well,
these are my legs,
way.
and it's like
Stand
that.
on the chair and do it.
Anyway. So anyway, I was trying to do that.
explaining.
Yeah, I'll keep trying. And then I remember Brad coming over to me and talking at me about why it was like such an exciting shot and how he was like, imagine seeing someone like take that shot on it, and I was like, yeah. I really, to be honest, wasn't listening to what he said. There was something about his passion for it. I was like, I am hooked on Brad Gilbert.
Yeah.
And I want to be more like Brad.
Wow, grazie. Questi sono per te. Bianchi come il vestito.
Quelli che mi piacciono tantissimo, bianchi.
Lo so,
Sono tra l'altro
anche-
il loro preferito.
lo sappiamo, abbiamo studiato giorni e giorni. Sì, ma, per lei? No, ma le gardenie le conosco, sono buonissime. Sì.
Gardenia, sì, lo so, sono bellissime, sono il mio fiore preferito.
Spider-Man ti regala.
Has it been 2 years since you filmed it? Am I
We
right?
started rehearsals March 2 years ago.
And since you've had sort of 2 years to sit with it, who do you think is sort of the biggest snake now? What character? Oh,
I'm team
Are
Art.
you?
Team Art is the biggest snake.
Okay.
Won't be able to change my mind. So, do you know what it is though? I think it's because everybody leaves, and I've had.
You just got a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah, I do. I have a chip on my shoulder. There's a few people that I've talked to that were so adamant about the fact that he was the good guy. And I was
Which
like,
is not true. I'll give
which
it.
is
I'll
not
grant you
true.
that.
And I'm like, whoa,
grant you that.
because people are so easy to paint these two characters as the
As
bad
monsters,
guys, as
yeah.
monsters, which rightfully so. But he's got some skeletons in the closet too.
Yeah.
I think on a second watch, I would think maybe you were the worst. No.
The thing is that we all feel kind of the point actually is that if tides turned, if everyone started going on up, I think
I
we'd
would be like,
we'd
it's
swing
me.
it back.
I'm
yeah.
the bad guy.
Because we're all kind of protective over these
Yeah,
characters.
that's true.
They're all messy.
I
They're all
don't do it
flawed.
'cause And are we all?
You're the nice
Are
guy.
we all?
And aren't we all, doll?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think it's Tashi, but also like let women have hobbies. So like just let women have hobbies.
You gotta do what you gotta do,
I have a selfish question, which is: have either of you three been to New Zealand?
No, we
were
we've
just
been saying
talking
all
about
day to them.
I
We really
know.
want to go.
Okay, because after doing some research, I know that you are quite familiar with birthing lambs.
Yes.
And we have
Yeah,
4
that's
sheep for
right.
every one person, so I think you can get a job.
You're competing with Wales in that sense. I
Oh.
think Wales has a very high ratio of sheep per person. Anyway.
Okay.
You're probably you're winning.
For a second, I was like, the sheep are competing with the whales.
Oh, like the mammal.
Who's gonna win? I also read, Mike, that you can fly. Not you can fly, you're a pilot. So
Yes, I also have the special ability of flying.
you also can fly.
I can also.
I also have.
Yeah.
And then Zendaya, honestly, I just thought you have New Zealand girl energy. You have very chill girl energy.
I
So I
try.
thought between the 3 of you, we must get you over to New Zealand.
We were talking about
Mine is not as cool as being able to birth a sheep or fly a plane. I'm just
You could be
chill.
energy.
You're
You wanna
just,
learn?
just vibes. Like, you know what? I love that.
I'm sure we could teach you how to birth a sheep if you
That'd be sick.
Imagine reading on this birthing sheet is really easy. The sheep does the job.
I thought maybe
You just sort of stand around.
Oh, okay. But I can't say that I've birthed one.
Well, look, we'll work on that.
We'll do it.
Surprise!
Bring him in, boys.
You're doing that to yourself.
Yeah, sorry.
I run a publication called Shit You Should Care About. We do something called a mundane poll, which is where I just ask people very mundane questions because I like them to be able to argue about things that aren't terrible all the time. And one of them was whether a tennis ball is yellow or green. Is it bright yellow or is it lime green?
I think it's
Yeah.
Grello or something.
I would like 100% say yellow, but
No,
I didn't even know that was up for
But
debate.
it's not it's not just pure yellow. That's yellow, right? That's not the color of a tennis ball. Her phone case.
Her
sorry.
phone, not you.
Not the person.
I think I would like
like tennis
fight
ball.
anyone who was like the ball is green.
You would physically.
I would fight them.
This is like the kindest, gentlest person. He's going to fight you. That's his line.
When I
That's
say
his
I
line.
fight, I'm not saying I'm going to win. Like, I would lose. Look at that.
He said, I would fight.
Yeah. Well, this has been great, and thank you for having me. And thanks for the movie. Obsessed with it. You guys are great.
That was a great first interview.
Yeah, you nailed
That
it.
was so good.
I was one of the funner ones of the day.
Aw,
Any real life scars you can show us? Go on, Zendaya.
This one, oh, you guys see my. I don't know how to show you. This one.
How are you getting your leg like that?
It was from the scene where I fall onto the tennis court, and tennis courts hurt. It's like and I was like, why is my sock bloody? Yeah, and then I was like, I'll just scrape some of my skin off and made a nice little scar, so I'll always remember
challengers. I have like little, do you know like production, I don't know if you guys have that, but I have little scars from different productions on the back of the same leg. Oh yeah, that one. It's Euphoria. That's breaking down the door. So they just, you know, I get to collect them. And
Some
then-
people get tattoos from the films they've been in. You're just collecting scars and wounds.
It's actually quite comforting and nice. I'm like, oh, I'll never forget challengers. I'm enjoying holding this. It's like a stress ball.
And I love this in tennis movies. It's an obligation.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Oh, that, yes.
Yeah.
I think all of the back. I think you got.
That's me.
Your
I
neck
perfected
was
that.
broken.
Yeah.
You came in the next day
had
with a brace.
But it was,
said,
I mean,
"Hey, guys."
honestly, they had to like,
How did they do it? Because all of you look.
they just had they had your doubles play.
Oh.
That's
And
right.
just like rally back and forth.
There were no doubles. I know there were no doubles. It's
Yeah,
all
no.
you.
The doubles. Me.
You know what's interesting too is like in those moments where everybody's watching and looking back and forth, it really highlights the moments where she gets inside her own head, because you see her head is the only one that becomes still for a moment, and then she clocks back into this movement. So I think it was kind of a brilliant storytelling device that Luca kind of used.
And I will say this, I love the idea of you getting home one day with an injury and it wasn't even from
From
tennis.
tennis, just from watching.
I had a really hard day watching tennis, guys.
Okay.
And are you
No.
proud though? Good. Okay,
Oh,
I love this.
well.
No injury, just a scar. Scar
Okay.
on my leg.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
hidden in there. It'll never go away. It's
Yes.
kind of like became a little keloid.
Okay.
But you know, it's cute. It's like a perfect little square
Yeah.
on my leg.
And something you'll never forget from this
Exactly.
movie.
Did many some funny things happen during the shooting, behind the scenes? Some weird things, funny things.
I
funny
mostly
moments?
just kept hitting Z with the ball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Luca.
a few times.
Multiple times.
But it wasn't what you know. I won't hold that against them. I forgive
Yet.
you. Yeah.
I'm waiting for it. It's gonna
It's
happen
coming.
any day now.
Any day.
If you were to challenge Michael Josh to either air tennis match or an actual tennis match, who do you think you would like to challenge?
Air tennis, they're not seeing me. But in real tennis, no offense, I'm gonna have to take you because there's no way. Mike already hit me with.
I would hit her with balls.
A few tennis
All
balls.
the balls.
So
If
Just
it was,
break
pelting them.
yeah. As I walked by, I was like, let's see what's. Oh, he's asleep.
I was watching Bones and All recently, and I'm like, how am I empathizing with the cannibal?
I know. We watched that while we were filming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he was still, but he was done editing and everything, but
Yeah, but I
it
think
was
it hadn't
still
come out yet,
hadn't
had
come
it?
out, hadn't come out yet.
Did he give you that as like homework to watch, or like these are crazy
it was
characters?
actually, it was like a
Yeah.
fun thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Little bonding.
That's special.
I was yelling at the screen.
You guys watch Ratatouille,
We
okay?
did.
I know you watch Ratatouille.
Yeah.
I want to know, and I know, Josh, that came from you, and the whole world is grateful and, you know, blessed.
Oh, here it is. Their way of
They're
doing
trying to do it, and
It's
you're
their
just
way of
sneaking
doing
it in.
We're not gonna cut you.
We're not gonna
Right?
tell you.
You sneaky,
I'm
blushing.
But back to Ratatouille. The Ratatouille thing was lovely because it was like, while these characters are extremely intense and we're shooting like a Luca Guadagnino film, like the idea of it feels very serious and very, you know, daunting and all these things, and our characters are very intense, but it's always nice to just like watch Ratatouille, you know what I mean?
It's great.
And just have a good time.
It's a great movie.
For them, like the worst parts of their life,
yeah.
you know, and doing things that they're not proud of, but then, you know, like again, cut, I'm bringing snacks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so these gummy bears or these gummy
Yeah.
bears, you know? But yeah, it's a balance.
Like the whole time, there's so much tension. Yes. How did you guys live in that?
Well, I think it, like, it didn't, yeah,
Childish and
being
unserious.
incredibly childish and playing rock, paper, scissors in between takes and being silly and eating snacks. The editing is incredible. I feel like alongside the music as well, it really feels extra tense. At the time, it didn't feel quite as tense.
No, just stay.
We were just hanging out, and that was so nice. And we got silly together and talked a lot about snacks, which I enjoyed. So that was we had a great time.
2000 Spike? Boom.
Spike,
No pressure.
If you could frame a snapshot from the film, what scene would it be?
Oh man, there's so many good ones. I would say some of my favorites is the under the floor tennis shot. I would say
When the camera's the ball,
Camera's the ball.
that's kind of like epic.
the frames of both of you like smirking at each other from across. Like I would like that. Oh man, there's so
There's
many good
one of my
ones.
favorite shots in the whole film is right at the beginning, at the challenger match, and the camera comes up above Darnell, who's the umpire,
And then over.
and then over and comes right up to Z, and it's like one smooth.
Also
That's cool.
the churro scene. You in his face with
Oh,
the
yeah.
sugar on
Sugar
your
on the
face
face.
and you like smiling at him. I think that's a great
Yeah.
shot. I'm just thinking of screenshots. Yeah.
No, those are perfect.
And the red light, whatever, the slow-mo red light.
That's really good.
When
Images are good.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
This is quite a like in word at the minute. Is tennis core yay or nay, Mike?
hell does that Yay or nay?
like tennis
is
aesthetic.
Tennis core?
Clothes,
fashion.
fashion. Yeah, as in like
As in,
everyone
like-
wearing the whites again.
Is it
shorts.
yay or nay? You
No, not
realize
is it gay?
you're asking. No, not gay. I didn't say that.
I thought you said it.
You realize though you're asking the absolute wrong person for this.
No, fashion icon, Mike. Feist. Is it in or out?
I love you, Mira. Sorry.
1, 2, 3.
Oh god, they look really glamorous, and I'm in a sports jersey, looking a bit awkward.
Oh, did you sign on the back? Oh, good.
Yeah.
His
nowhere.
not.
Where are you gonna
His
sign on
isn't.
the back?
I was just seeing the blank, and I was like, "Is that the back?" It's not.
It's not developed yet.
Ah, yeah.
You know how film
Copy
works.
that.
Yeah.
Nothing. I'll just put my name.
Okay, that's perfect.
Thanks so
you.
much.
Thanks so much, guys.
Appreciate
I can't
it.
wait to open our restaurant together.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Serving.
Here you
Put
go.
your
Here's
Sharpie
here's
and your
top
Sharpie
right.
lid there.
Thank you for not stealing from me. I appreciate
No
it.
worries.
No, of course.
Oh, good shot. Guys, relax. Okay.
Showing off.
What is the trick to passive aggressively eating a banana?
I don't know.
Reference yourself.
I referenced myself the other day in an interview. They were like, I was talking about Nick Kyrgios, and I was like, he does this amazing thing where he eats banana, and then they were like, Josh, that's you in the movie.
He's that good. He's that good.
I looked a lot at Nick Kyrgios.
Did you?
Yeah.
With the serve?
In the script is very specific about Patrick having a weird serve. We had this day with Brad Gilbert, who was our tennis coach. Brad was like, okay, I'm going to show you some videos of weird serves. You might have noticed the weird.
I didn't.
But I don't think any of us did. It was basically Brad showed us to us normal serves.
And you were like, what's weird
We were
about
like, they
it?
all look exactly the same.
I'm so glad you brought him up because we've got.
Hey Laura, this is BG, Brad Gilbert from Houston. So I asked you guys about the Weymouth practice for 6 weeks. We would start practice usually at 7 a.m.
There's no question. I think he just wanted to chat to you. Yeah.
Eric Cantona went into acting post-playing career at Manchester United. So which of the current squad do you think would be able to follow in his footsteps as an actor?
God, that was so cool.
Well, do you know who Rio Ferdinand is?
He's absolutely legend.
Yeah, legend.
Great centre back. And this is going to be so rude, but Bruno Fernandes does a great fed up acting. He's always throwing his arms about. So he probably
the
gets-
drama?
Yeah, he's got the drama.
So you love Kyrgios. What do you love specifically about Kyrgios?
Well, I think there's some. You know, I grew up with soccer as my main sport, or football as we call it in the UK, and there's a certain character that would often prop up. So there's players like Eric Cantona, at times like players like Roy Keane, real characters who are sometimes behave badly, but sometimes,
The bad boy.
but they're also very talented. And I think Kyrgios has that. There's a sort of, you know, for me growing up, and I did watch tennis growing up through my dad watched a lot of tennis. And it was like McEnroe was the kind of, you know, you cannot be serious. That whole thing.
Kyrgios
Oh.
is a tennis player, and I
Who is a tennis player?
a lot.
Yeah, he's like the bad boy of tennis,
He's the
right?
bad boy of tennis. He's got a lot of attitude. He's really entertaining as well. There's a scene where I'm eating a banana a little suggestively, and that was sort of inspired by
always-
Kyrgios.
When I was watching that, I thought, who have I seen eating a banana like that? It
Yeah.
wasn't it Kyrgios?
There you go.
There we go. I love that. You nailed it. Right. Oh, here we go.
And so I heard that you make scrapbooks of every role
Yeah.
that you have. Have you made one for this role?
Got quite a small one for this because I jumped from another film straight onto this, so it's a very small scrapbook.
Got to add more, lots from
but
today.
It's there. It's lots of tennis imagery, a few pictures of Nick Kyrgios.
Yeah.
I look like some Nick Kyrgios fangirl or something.
Why not? All over the screen. He's going to open it and be like,
Yeah, right.
Are you ready for that?
Did the writer tell you something that I didn't get to see that's like in the backstory of any of these characters? You got a good little gem?
The only thing, well, as we were talking just now, the thing that came to mind was that, you know, like the tournament tour is called the ATP. And if you look at our names, Art, Tashi, Patrick,
Oh, that is so fire.
I actually don't know if
you're
that,
making that up, right?
I don't
That's
know.
true?
I don't know if that
Oh,
was
no, that's
intentional.
canon.
No, you don't?
I don't know if it was intentional, but it actually just came to my mind, and I wonder if Justin
Did that on purpose?
Yeah.
It explains what tennis means to her, that it's when you perfectly understand each other and it's kind of like being in love. Is there anything that you guys feel as strongly about as how Tashi feels about tennis?
Well, mine's
Dang.
ceramics. Mine's
Yes.
making pots. And I genuinely feel like one of the things that I was thinking about when we were talking, I remember having this conversation with Justin ages ago Justin the writer, about things that like feel like you're in flow. And that's
The zone.
because in the zone, you know, it's like, and so I feel like we get it when we're acting
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, when you're just like, you're in it and it's that moment of like connection. And I that's how I feel like throwing a pot. Is I just feel like so, it'll probably be a rubbish pot, but I just feel in flow.
And Patrick even says to her about art, who is he to you if he's not playing tennis? Where do you think is kind of like a healthy line to draw between being passionate about what you do but not equating your self-worth to your career?
just exactly that, right? That's the battle. You cannot make your own self-worth that. You cannot define that based off of a job or not getting a job or the success of a film, like what we're doing, you know, like we have our lives outside of that and we have to cling to those, and that's kind of the thing that makes it and grounds us all, so we were able to go out and do this.
I think it's also something I'm learning because I've been
We're all
working
learning, right? Yeah.
since I was a kid, pretty much nonstop, and I'm like, damn, I don't really know how to do anything
Do a
else.
life, yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, you're like, damn, okay, do I like others? I love that you have your passion, which is ceramics. I think it's so cool, and I was like, I need
Something like
that.
Yeah.
You know, so that I cannot just be so focused and I have to work and I have to work and I have to work, and that there's something that is just joyful.
It's very easy. I think the other, like, so much of our job is, because we're more often than not shooting on location or doing press tours, or, you know, so much of our job is away from home. That I think that structure of home life, which gives you a bit of space to find a hobby or, you know, like, even just really basic things like going out, I know it sounds ridiculous, but like going and doing a weekly shop.
No,
it's like,
it's
a
serious.
dream.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah, yeah.
that stuff really
Just cooking a
grounds
meal
you.
at your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so much of our life is away and therefore associated with work, that it's quite hard to
Yeah.
split the two.
I will say, grocery shopping for me has gotten difficult.
I bet.
I'm not surprised.
And I remember
Yeah.
when we were, because my life was starting to change a little bit
Yeah.
more while we were shooting, and I remember you guys, you know, everybody was going out and like having things like, you know what, I'm not gonna join you because I think it
Yeah.
might make your night not so fun. You know, so I hear you.
We would have enjoyed having you regardless.
I would've just been
Maybe
like-
you would have felt a different thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. we always were like, it's
You're
too
welcome to
bad.
come.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
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 no,
yeah.
I know.
So you're going to have a ceramics line. You're going to buy your own supermarket so
Yeah.
that you can
Yeah,
go
right.
and eat
By
your meals.
myself.
And
Fair.
you're maybe going to do some cooking and become a personal chef. This is like your guys' homework.
Sure. All right. You get the grocery store.
yeah, then you
You
can
make
shop
the
the
pottery
plates.
for the thing, and
Great.
bam.
It's a
Done.
restaurant. You guys are literally serving. I love that for you.
Serving.
You each.
Again! She doesn't stop.
Two
That's
songs
her restaurant name.
Serving.
Oh my god, guys.
Are you in on this? Are we?
I'm in.
Are we
Can I be a-
starting?
can I be a
Have we
silent
gone to the
partner?
investor?
Yeah. In New Zealand. So
In
this
New
is
Zealand.
we're gonna come
New
to
Zealand
New
restaurant.
Zealand. We're gonna
Love.
open the restaurant.
All right.
It's a done deal. We'll talk about this
Luca
later.
can design it. It's an interior design. It's great.
It's meant to be. Isn't that nice? Yeah.
I'll keep mine.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
throw
really
it
nice.
at people. Oh, this is a good one. If you were down to your last $70, what would you buy? Whoop.
More tennis balls.
$70. What? I want to know what you would buy.
If I'm down to my last, there's nothing.
Oh, sorry.
If I'm literally down to my last $70, food.
Yeah.
Obvious.
Yeah.
Stock up. What are you talking about?
Food, well, I will say this. I would predict you buy food for yourself and your dog.
Well, yeah.
Did you see the internet go nuts for it though? Have you seen it? Like what they've said about the scene?
No.
Like,
No.
You don't know about this?
No. He's
internet-
on the internet.
I
But
mean,
Josh and I are the
I know.
absolute worst.
Less. By the way, I know
I
you're
get sent things.
y'all are doing busy things, but yeah, there's a lot of thirsty TikToks about that particular moment. So I
Thirsty
know y'all were
TikTok.
great, and I want you to
don't have
get all the stuff for it. But yeah, they were like, this is a scene, and your face is the one that everyone like.
so good.
That's a good shot though. That's
Yeah.
like a hero shot. Let's cue the music shot.
It was,
So-
and you know what's funny is I'm just looking in the camera because you guys have to split.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I'm just like, and you guys are like,
Do that you guys did. Can I say one more thing about the screenplay before you move on? It is very, very difficult.
Wimbledon is very, you know, it's quiet. Like you can hear a pin drop, and then U.S. Open is like, let's go, Serena! Like that literally was my mom next to me. So, yeah. Yes, absolutely. I was like, Mom.
Tashi, she comes in and breaks up your friendship, boys. So I've got to ask, what happened to the bro code there?
The bro code.
Bro code.
Yeah, I guess we didn't get that memo, did we? Oh, we've got a sort of bro code. In real life, we've got a great bro code. Yeah, I suppose she sort of tears us apart. We tear ourselves apart.
Yeah.
We're all as awful to each other.
Our best. Come on!
No. Come on!
Oh, that's trash.
Mine's in the movie. You got to pay for that. Don't go and see it with your mum and dad. Go and see it with your mates. Loved it.
But yeah, I think Luca had a very clear understanding of that scene, and something Josh said earlier, which I forget about all the time, but just like, yeah, or was it you who said it? Anyway, it's a three of us.
I'll go that way.
Josh, were you born in Southampton or is that a Wikipedia lie?
I was born in Southampton.
Fantastic. Do you know it's basically out of you and Craig David for most successful person out of Southampton? How do you feel about that?
Is that true? Hang on. I love Craig David.
Yeah.
So he can take it. Also, I was only born there, and a lot of my family lived there, but I grew up somewhere else.
You're not going to
So I
claim
can't-
Southampton?
I don't think I can claim it.
Yeah.
Although, if Southampton Football Club wanted to give me season tickets,
You're more than
I will claim
then I will claim it. I grew up there.
Well, thank you guys so
You
much.
were great.
You were so good. Thank you so much, guys. I hope our paths cross again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Whenever I get excited about a project, I just dive right in. And I kind of put everything else to the side, and like I am like a racehorse in a way. And I was in Ohio. I called my friend Julie, who was a personal trainer, and she immediately started kicking my ass. And the studio was kind enough, Brad was kind enough to find people in Ohio that would train me. I trained with, I played next to professional tennis players, and they kicked my ass. And I just got my ass beat for 6 weeks
before we actually started the actual ass beating. And then we did an additional 6 weeks of getting
some more ass beating.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And so, but we all did that.
I once asked, I said, I want to try to see what it feels like to return a serve. Someone like, hit me a real one. The way that thing flew by me so fast, and at the time, I still had glasses. I've since had LASIK, so I couldn't even see the dang thing. So at some point, I realized, okay, my approach has to be different.
I felt devious after watching the movie. I walked out like I want to go mess some stuff up.
I love that.
I walked out like this.
Ooh, yeah. You all think of a word right now, and after 3, you're gonna say it out loud. The idea is that you're gonna end up saying that we've never been able to catch this on camera before, right? Okay, all think of a word.
Can I say? It's not gonna happen now. Like.
All right, we've got to take this. We've got to take this seriously, though, right? Otherwise, it won't work. All
Guys,
all
don't
think
get
of a
crazy.
word.
Because I know that you're gonna go so left, bro.
All think of a word and say it out loud in 3, 2, 1.
Tennis.
Oh my gosh!
Come on, bro. What? I said let's keep it simple.
I said heart because I saw heart.
Oh.
I was literally like this. Heart.
Good behavior.
It was so funny. In my head, I'm like, just please, tennis. Just please say tennis.
Do you feel left out? We'll take a two-way mind meld. I think it's
I feel so left out. This is basically the film. The point is, it didn't work out. You tried.
What's really nice about that scene as well is that you get to see them in their youth. You get to see them when it's still fun. They're still having a good time and there's still joy there. And I think life hasn't happened too much yet to them. Life hasn't been lifing, But over time, we watch it kind of all this joy and the fun get sucked out of them, and it's not there anymore.
And you 3 incredibly had to learn to play tennis. I know it's not the first time it's ever been done, but still to get from not being brilliant tennis players to tennis players who can look real on stage.
Zendaya had been, that was gonna be her other career choice.
Yeah,
She was,
the people didn't know.
Don't talk down to her about that.
Guys, can you help us out? Can you get Zendaya onto the stage for us? Because you guys are both theater veterans. Can you put in a word? We need to get Z on the stage, right?
Oh, man.
Oh, easy. Z could do anything.
Oh,
I don't think she needs our help.
But maybe just a push.
To
a gentle
actually
push.
Yeah, she'll find the right project for her that she's like, yes. Or no, she'll figure it out. She's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys better be there. Opening night.
Absolutely. We will be there to support.
right.
Yeah, Tashi, in the film, is a monster, right? But the film actually, well, I mean, it's tough, man. I was scared. At one point, I was when.
Let's play psychologist. How is she handling all this?
Who?
You.
Me? In like
Handling
real
all
life?
what?
In real life.
Oh, in real life.
What, the press tour?
Yeah, press tour, the premiere every other day.
Pro. Sorry, curse.
Bleep.
Yeah, she's fine. Yeah. I mean, she's probably tired because, she's coming off. No, I know for a fact she's tired. But she's a pro, dude. She's amazing. If anything, she's paved the way and shown great example and leadership for Josh and myself, who are very reluctant to do any of this.
But who's the best kisser?
Josh. Thank you. Z's quiet.
I'm gonna let y'all take that. Let's go see these losers.
We went to Wimbledon with Brad Gilbert, and it was like
That's a big experience.
it was amazing. Yeah. We saw Nadal.
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Play tennis.
No, we just saw him.
We saw him at the grocery store.
At the grocery store. Not at Wimbledon. Let me
just clarify.
Surprisingly,
that point.
not at Wimbledon.
Yeah, that's weird. Sorry, that was a really long answer to probably not your question.
It was almost impossible to talk to you on set when Break My Soul came out.
Oh.
So I need to know what happened when Cowboy Carter dropped, because you've been on the press tour.
I have not bothered them with it.
quite yet.
Yet. No, it was quite cool because I remember it was our last day in Boston and she had put out the song and I was like, it's a sign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's sending us off to New York.
But I really found it funny because I also remember, I don't know if I remember this right, but it was like you knew it was coming out a few days before and you'd warned us. You were like, just so you know, this day there's going to be a Beyonce track and I might be a little distracted. And you were amazing. You were
But I do remember waking up that day and I was like, I remember being on set, I was like, it's a good day, guys. It's a good day. We're good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
I remember when I first started hitting the ball, it just would go off into trees. Like it was just never even close to the court.
I just played tennis with my friends growing up in high school and college. But one thing I did learn is that I have no control over the sounds that I am making when I'm swinging. The sounds and the grunts and the yells and the screams. Exactly right.
What's it sound like?
It's not pretty, man. It is ugly. Well, like,
Is that?
No, I really hope not.
Jeez.
I really hope not. Well, the point I was gonna make was
These people though, these ones just they just stuck together. They're just like a pair of like old iPhone headphones, just like all tangled up, you know.
Your characters gets like a penalty at some point, and I wanted to give you guys a couple penalties and ask which one is most likely to get it.
Except for Tashi, I just want to say. Tashi's a professional.
Tashi doesn't do no
You won't
wrong.
catch her slipping.
Racket abuse.
I think you.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah?
Mike is smashing rackets for sure.
Yeah.
Competitive.
No, I wouldn't say
It's
that.
just like passionate.
Yeah.
I love it. Time violation.
Josh.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Josh. Also, it would be because I'd be trying to figure out how to do this, like how this thing works.
But Josh is always late.
Okay.
I love you. God, it's always Z and I first, and we're like, "Where's Josh?"
We're just waiting
We're
here.
just waiting for
Where is
Josh.
he? Just strolling in with a cappuccino.
Yeah, with the
Were you guys
cappuccino.
waiting for me?
But you need one of those in a friend group. It's just like you need that. Phone penalty.
Z.
This one's phone penalty.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
It is. So
What does
it's-
that mean?
If a phone rings, I literally have the definition because I was like, what the heck is that? If a phone rings in a game, the opponent can claim it on hindrance. If it vibrates, it's okay.
Like you're the opponent.
So like say my phone rings and I'm playing against you,
They
you
have
can
their
get
phones.
Well,
Yeah,
even
they
on the
have
on the
sidelines.
bag.
Well, let me just say.
It is Z.
Yes, because I'm the one, I take all the content. I have all the videos and pictures from this entire thing. And B, I'm the only one who keeps the group chat alive.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I'm mom.
I love
basically.
it. What's the group
Essentially,
chat
I check in
name?
all my kids. I'm
I
like,
think
I don't
everyone
think
all
we have a
right?
name.
I'm gonna send you pictures.
It's just a photo.
Yeah, of you guys.
They cut you out.
Yeah, no, I put
she
it.
created it.
I created it. Of course, they're not gonna do that. It's me. I'm mom. I took a picture of them on set with their wigs, and I put it as the group chat.
Original screenplay written by Justin's partner Celine Song.
Very talented.
I would love to hear from the three of you what kind of relationship you see, if any, between Past Lives and Challenges. Very different movies, but amazing.
A very long story about all of us, actually.
Well,
Come on.
Well,
give it to the people.
all right, fair enough. I'll try and be quick. During the pandemic, or right before the pandemic, Past Lives came across to me as like something to read and possibly put myself on tape for. I hate reading scripts. This one I read, I was like, wow, this is an amazing script. I agreed to put myself on tape for. Didn't get it. Pandemic happens. I'm alone, and I'm by myself. It's a random day, and I'm thinking about this woman who was about to make her directorial debut with this incredible script, and then the world shuts down. And so I actually wrote out to her agent, just being like, listen, and again, I told her, I was like, I don't read things. This was amazing. I really feel for you. I hope you're okay. I'm such a fan, and I hope you get the chance to actually make this movie because it's incredible. Then cut to, we're doing Challengers, and I'm getting to know Justin, and we're in the hotel lobby, and we're getting to know each other. I'm like, so tell me about yourself. And he's like, oh, well, I'm married, and my wife, he was like texting, he was like, sorry, my wife, she just finished cutting her first movie. I was like, no way, that's incredible. What's the movie? And he starts telling me the story. And I'm like,
That is so cool.
I'm like, hang on. Did I tell you this
I think I
story?
did know this.
And so I'm like, hang on. I know this movie. Why do I know this movie? He's like, well, it's like, whoa. And so I had to tell him, you know, the whole story. And so it was kind of this like interesting thing of like paths. Wow. Very meta. Just meant to kind of be and whatnot in some sort of capacity. Yeah.
I have a hard time like reading scripts. I don't know if you guys have that. I just immediately you kind of
Justin. Well, one of the things I wanted to say about the script is
have you guys ever had a code word with like friends or anything of that nature?
I'm sure.
I feel like this movie we had a lot of like because it's really just the three of us. You know what I mean?
Okay, I've got one for
there was
us
an
for this movie.
unspoken thing.
Okay.
No bueno.
No
This is from
bueno.
Brad Gilbert, our tennis coach. He used to go, no bueno.
And that's when you guys would do like not a great shot.
Yeah.
I love it. Or not a great anything. It could be
it's
for
not
anything.
very secretive, to be fair.
This is our secret hand.
Bueno. What could they be saying there?
So I have a couple scenarios for you. No bueno, big secret.
They won't know anything about it.
Look at you three sitting there. You look like you could be the new hosts of the project.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Zendaya, are you really that competitive naturally? Because Mike, I believe, if you called her a beast, did you dare call Zendaya a competitive beast?
Yeah, why not? Sure. I don't remember that, but
I'm sure
I probably did.
Mike, what? How did this project come to you, and why was it? I'm assuming a quick yes for you to do this.
I was home in Ohio, and I think like Z, it's really hard for my team to get me to read anything. And I got period pretty much, yeah. And my agent actually called me, Sam. She gave me a call and she said, Mike, you have to read this script. And I was like, all right, well, that sounds serious. So I read it.
I have a couple scenarios for you guys, and I want you guys to communicate it to each other or to me without saying anything.
Oh my God.
I want to leave this party. No bueno. I like how we both looked at Mike because we're like, Mike's the one who wants to leave the party most of the time.
Always.
So what would your natural face be?
I would just fucking leave.
You wouldn't even see my face.
I'd just be gone.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be there. What would you do? Yeah. I like it. That's good. Oh, yeah? Okay, your crush is literally behind you.
If it was you, I'd go. That'd be it.
And I'd be like, wait.
Yeah.
That's good. That was good. That's really good. Yeah. I can't say this out loud, but we have to debrief what this person just said. Oh.
Oh, that's
We do a lot of those, I feel like. I bet it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. He has that down.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Like, let's talk about that.
We have a lot of that.
That's awesome. That's
It
amazing.
was one of those things, you know, and I truly do believe that, like, projects kind of find us more than we go after, like, a certain kind of a project. Like, I would love to say I have full power and control over my career. I don't think I really do, is the truth of the matter. I always find that, like, projects kind of find me at, like, the perfect time. And it's like, okay, this is what we're signing up for, and this is what we're doing. And in some sort of kind of weird roundabout way, that was all supposed to.
It seems like there's all these like little things, like the things with like you meeting Justin or you having this experience or like the connection with Greatest Showman and you doing Dear Evan Hansen.
Right.
And then I watched The Crown and I was like, this guy. And then Lucas said the same thing. Like, I feel like, I don't know.
Some things are just meant to happen.
Some things are meant to happen.
To talk about your serve, because I don't want to rip it apart, but it's quite unique. I know it's a bit of a plot point, but you start like behind your head. Was that you, or were you instructed to do that?
Oh, no, I was instructed to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. We were trying to find. I mean, he's you know, in the script, it's scripted that he has a kind of particular serve, and obviously, if you've seen the film, that serves a purpose.
Yeah.
But
serves a purpose.
Even if you're like me and avoiding exercise, it's inevitable that I would look reasonably good.
There's no getting out of it.
No, well, there was a way. Actually, I found a way, which was that our lovely trainer, Brian Dew, who would kind of spend some time with the three of us together, and then sometimes he'd spend some time with you, and then
he'd go off to Mike, and that was my time to just have a little rest.
So you're a little bit
So
sneaky.
I was sneaky, yeah, but I backed myself on it.
Yeah.
I was delighted. I'd do it all again.
I don't
he was
regret a
amazing.
single
I don't
moment.
regret it at all.
And I love that It's Getting Hot in Here is playing at a party the first time you all meet. So
I also want to say that was not the song that was playing while I was there. It was,
Oh,
it was
really?
a Bowie song that was playing.
It was, wasn't
That
it?
plays
I was trying to
later.
remember what it was.
It plays later in the
Oh, it
scene.
does, oh, yeah.
But it's just not what was playing on the day when I was dancing. So then later I was like,
You're like,
wait,
I'm not dancing.
if I would have
She's
danced
so out
a
of
little
rhythm.
bit different if I knew it was gonna be it's getting hot in here, you know what I mean?
Boys, Josh and Mike, while I've got you, I want to get, a little something out of this interview that I can take, further on in my life. So much of this film, kind of the acting, you communicate without words, basically. It's a lot of kind of stern looks, kind of passionate looks. Do you guys think you could give me some tips on how to act without communicating using words?
Well, I would start by not talking.
You're not the first person who suggested that to me before.
And
Yeah,
that
I
is the
think
first step. Doing it now.
That's pretty much it.
We just look
Look intense.
longingly.
The thing is that Mike's average, standard look is intense.
Yeah.
Oh.
Smoldering.
That's a
Look at it. Look at it.
Yeah, look
Oh.
at that.
There you go.
I see it. I feel something. I've got good.
I think the biggest takeaway, honestly, was, well, we all went through a serious physical transformation. So that was it was 4 hours of working out every day, 2 hours of hitting tennis, and then we'd work out with Brad Gilbert, who's Andre Agassi's coach, and then we would work out with the amazing Brian Dew, and he would just whip us into shape and kind of be pretty brutal to us in ways. But that was a very serious part of it.
I learned how to look reasonably good at tennis.
How does one look reasonably good at tennis?
Copy a really actually good tennis player. I feel like I could convincingly trick someone to think I could serve, but I rarely hit the ball. I rarely make contact with rackets and balls. I shot a tweener, which is it's a shot where you hit the ball through your legs, but that was pure fluke, and it worked out really well. But that was total fluke. I'll never repeat that.
Was it caught on camera?
No. I think it was caught on someone's camera phone. I don't know. Maybe Zendaya's. I don't know.
Then when Mike and Josh joined this team, this movie came to life in a whole other way.
I've heard that you're quite good at tennis. So if you were...
Who told you that?
I've heard it mentioned in a few interviews.
Okay.
Would you say you're good at tennis?
No, I would not. I say I'm the best air tennis player.
Nice, like air guitar, but with tennis.
Undefeated when
Undefeated.
it comes to air.
Stunning, I love that.
The GOAT.
If it was all three of you in one match,
Well, that'd be really hard.
That'd be very
It would be hard.
It's like
You'd have to have an extra
what's that
person to do
in a multiplayer ping pong where everybody just runs
Well,
around
do
the
you know
table
what?
to hit it.
Here we go. If it was you versus me and Z as a doubles
It
team,
might be more.
it might
fair.
be more competitive. We'd still lose, but it would be more
be
competitive.
more competitive. Yeah, I really want to see this play out now.
Grow with them and see them at different points in their lives and see these touchstones and these key moments that turn them into the people that they are and connect them, and they're like this.
What is that?
They're really these are
We got props.
Yeah, literally. These are and I can never untangle them.
Yeah.
No matter how many times you
that's
you
good.
try, they're always, and you just I'll just put them in because it takes too long. But this is my representation of our characters. They are forever a messy iPhone.
AirPods, we are not.
AirPods, we are not. Way too convenient and streamlined. No, we are a messy, tangled up, cord attached group of people.
I asked you guys to choose one song each to create the ultimate party playlist. What songs would you choose?
I always find that this is how we do it gets the party started every time, no matter what.
It's a great choice.
What's that song?
As soon as
I'm
everybody
so
hears
bad with
this,
song
how we do,
titles.
and then everybody just.
What's that song? Is that dun 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 dun
Oh,
dun
yeah.
dun 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 dun? Do you know?
I know the song, but I can't think of the name of the song.
We'll find out. We'll get back to you.
Shazam.
That's great. Yeah, we'll Shazam it. What about you, Mike?
The Barney theme song.
I knew you were. I knew it was coming.
Are you going to be something?
This man.
What?
Barney themes? I didn't even know what that is. How's it
I
go?
Love you, you love me. We're a happy family.
Is that the
Is that
Barney
it?
theme tune?
It is.
Are we making that up?
wasn't really big in the UK.
Barney.
It's gotta be.
It was very influential on
It
my
really
child.
was.
No, it was.
No, seriously.
There was a kid named Mike, and I wanted to be on the show.
Oh, Mike.
Well, there you go. It's an interesting playlist. You can every type of mood.
Worst party ever.
I'm leaving.
Really? Yeah, I'm not going to that party.
I'm gonna leave you with this because you know the kids have spoken. Met Gala, are they hot or are they cold? Are they hot or cold?
Isn't that hilarious? I said, first of all, first of all, it's kind of genius. For one.
It is.
Two, listen, I don't have all that to work with personally, but I appreciate the contribution.
Is it the sentiment?
You know, the sentiment. But I think we might go in a different direction. I don't know if we're gonna go
I am
so
wearing
literal.
that.
You are?
That's what I'm wearing.
Well, that's why.
We're a little disappointed.
That's what they got.
I'm actually going as the racket.
Again, yours keeps the
racket.
They're going as the balls. So.
That's great. I love you so much.
Using only tennis lingo and names, why should everyone come and see Challengers on the big screen?
Using tennis lingo?
Yeah.
Love.
Love.
Set.
Match.
Serve.
It serves. There's lots of love.
Mm-hmm.
The sets were nice. And the three of them were a perfect match.
There you go. That was good.
See,
that
that
was
was
good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh my God. Are you both matching or no?
Well,
No.
in terms of what, who?
Like, was
Both
it an
Loewe.
intentional matching
I don't know.
situation?
Are we-
Does it look intentional? Do we look?
I
Like
guess
we're
we
matching?
are
Well,
sort
there
of
is some.
matching.
There's some
It's a
codes that are
tux.
matching here. We
Yeah.
have beads. We have beads.
Yes.
We have tux.
Yeah.
If it was, it's probably planned by Jonathan, not us.
Okay, great. So you guys aren't involved in like your fashion looks as much. You kind of let yourselves be the canvas.
I chose the Turner.
I love the Turner.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It's so
That's
good.
so good.
Thank you.
That's great.
Tell me about this little bow tie.
This, I don't know much about it, but I like it.
I chose this too.
I like it
Did
because
you?
it reminds me of the wrapper
did
after a
plan
Kit
it.
Kat. Post Kit Kat, Twizzle.
What's your favorite
It's not
candy
very
then?
fashionable.
Is it a Kit Kat?
No, I would say American candy, Jolly
Yeah.
Rancher.
Delicious.
But the juicy, not the squidgy ones, not the hard candy.
You know, I've never had that.
They're delicious.
That's
And
not.
what's yours?
Not that.
Okay.
you
Try
go.
again. Can you think
yeah,
of one?
just not that.
Okay, not that.
Anything but that.
Great.
Brilliant.
Totally anything but that.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you.
so much.
C'est assez rapidement évident qu'il allait falloir se servir de ces interconnexions et également que la manière dont les personnages évoluaient au cœur du récit a orienté d'une certaine manière la réalisation. Et puis il y a aussi l'aspect du tennis film.
What's the friendship dynamic like between you three in real life?
So far, so good, I'd say.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm definitely.
I'm curious about chemistry, how you were able to, through even work with intimacy coaches and things like that, how you were able to get to a place where you were safe and you felt good enough and strong enough to like embark on that.
Yeah. Well, by the time we actually got to that part in the scene, we all really realized we hated each other. And
Just had to get it done.
yeah.
Get it done.
Yeah, it was
5,
it.
6,
Yeah,
7.
so just like go in. It was tough, man.
Was it tough?
Absolutely.
Hard for you?
Hardest thing.
What challenged you most, maybe excited you most about bringing him to life?
Probably the most challenging, I think, on my end, honestly, was working with Josh O'Connor. Just a nightmare of a human, really. I mean, look at him over there. He's just kind of like...
Just taking pictures and being a generally decent human.
Yeah.
Autographs. Who does that?
really milking it, you know what I mean? No, the truth of the matter is we really enjoyed ourselves working on this project.
Being really honest about this whole thing is that like he comes off really charming and like ha ha ha, you know. But he's actually like a complete nightmare. Honestly.
I'm a bully.
Absolutely.
I'm a bully.
No, he's a terror. He shouldn't be allowed to work again. It's the real.
Please tell them it's a joke. I had a great time with these two. I'm still having a great time with these two.
I will say I gained two new friends, and although I'm the only person that keeps our group chat alive,
I asked Mike and Josh, how did you make the toxic bromance between your characters work so well?
Well, we hate each other.
Can I just... Mike does this joke sometimes, and sometimes he follows it up with the punchline of like, we
Just
don't
kidding.
actually, just kidding, we're great friends. But in the UK last week, we did an interview where he committed so much to this joke that it sounded like I bullied you. It was extraordinary. But I think today he's going to give...
Josh genuinely in the middle of the interview was screaming at me, please tell them that you're joking. Look, we had, as Z was saying earlier, we had a very luxuriant time 6 weeks prior to actually shooting. By the time when we got to Boston, we had 6 weeks of training and rehearsal with Luca and Justin and Amy, and just getting to know each other. And then on top of that, Josh and I would just spend any other time that we had just running lines around Boston, just walking around, and we would just run lines. We'd go to the park, we would just walk around the city, and we would just run the lines. And by the time we actually got to those scenes, Josh and I also commuted every day together, so we spent so much time together. And then more or less, we knew each other's lines like that, so we were able to kind of just come in and be like, just like a tennis match, just be right on top of each other. And when you're, as an actor, when you're given the opportunity to work with another amazing actor, such as Josh, with such strong instincts and specific choices, Josh pings me something, and that gives me something to actually play with to throw him back.
Well, I'm a great admirer of them both as artists, and you know, Mike is a phenomenal actor and a great person, and you know, he was responsible for getting me out of bed on the weekends and doing activities which otherwise I wouldn't be doing. I'd be quite happy in my room. So I'm very grateful for that. But he's just a terrific artist, and Zendaya, of course, is you know, phenomenal and like a force. And so to watch her work every day, both as an actor but also as a producer, these two roles, and she did it with such grace. It's very admirable. Yeah.
Working with Josh and Mike, what was the highlight for you?
Just that they're wonderful people. They're just really wonderful people, and they made it such a wonderful place to go to work every day. I think we all care deeply about what we do, but sometimes it's important to laugh and like have joy and make fun and like have jokes and make sure that the work just doesn't feel too serious all the time.
Who was the class clown?
I think it was all three of us, to be honest. It's just based on any given moment, to be truthful. But we just had a lot of fun, and I think when you create a space where you feel safe and feel supported by each other, then you feel like you can do your best work. So.
Zendaya effect, you can hear it. What was she like?
She's great. I love Z. She's a great friend, and yeah, we had a great time together.
Yeah, I'm sure they're hating this, that I'm complimenting them, but you're gonna take it. Okay, because you guys are talented and wonderful, all right?
You was
Don't
strong,
you forget it.
you was kind, you was important.
Period.
Is how gifted she is as a producer, how kind she is as a person. She really is a golden person.
You know, he made them all spend so much time with each other. Thank God they liked each other. But, you know, enough.
Joke again.
Just kidding. I love them.
I have to start off by saying my favourite parts were when you three were playing like your younger, goofier, quite cheeky selves. What were your favourite parts to film?
There was one part in particular I really enjoyed. It was.
Do you
know what we're talking about?
Well, no, I'd be interested to know I'll tell you what I think you're going to say after. Because I have a feeling...
Do you want to guess?
Yeah, can I?
Yeah, go.
This is a very specific moment.
Yeah.
But there was the scene where we're eating churros.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, but but there was a specific moment at the end of that scene where we walk off. And Mike tripped me up during a take. It was actually class, and it was so good and so unexpected. But in that moment, I had this real sense of like, why would he do that to me? Because he got me so good. No, but then it was like, it was actually great. It was so sweet.
That was not what I was going to say, and I'm really sorry.
It was a really nice moment. It was nice.
My favorite part was the scene right before that,
when you come in and you're interrupting my
Oh, you guys
serve,
are running
and
after
then
each
you
other.
come.
Oh, we had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, because it
Feeling
was
left
totally. You just
Thanks,
went
guys.
For it.
I'll just let you guys. No, I'm saying
Yeah, actually,
they do love each other very much.
Yeah.
It was beautiful to watch.
No, I can tell that you three honestly are obsessed with each other.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with you.
If the ball lands on the other side of that line, it's out. The ball goes outside the alley. Right. Because this is doubles.
Citant d'interpréter des personnages qui ne nous ressemblent pas du tout, dont on se sent complètement extérieur, et pour appuyer les propos de Zendaya.
Allora Mike, ciao, benvenuto, e Josh O'Connor, benvenuto. Prego, accomodatevi. Right, stand by. Very good.
We're very pleased to share with you tonight, and we thank you all for coming, and we're really grateful. So thank you all very, very much, genuinely.
Je vous remercie d'être venus. Il y a eu beaucoup de travail, de nombreuses années pour travailler sur le script, pour sur le tournage, etc. Donc ça a été vraiment un long process. Il est très content que vous soyez là. Il vous remercie vraiment du fond de son cœur.
But ultimately, the end is just so pure and magical.
What is at stake? It's friendship, it's love.
How did you build it, guys?
So we shared a lift to work every day. We would make plans every morning to have breakfast together.
You would never go.
And I never went. I went once.
This is our relationship.
We did it.
Codependency?
Jealousy. Hot.
Hey!
Do you know what we should have done? Game, set, match.
Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mike said it perfectly. Look like I'd just given up. God damn it, you took all the good ideas.
We're part of it. My time's up.
Perfect.
Guilty pleasures. I don't know. This might be stupid, but I take way too long of showers sometimes. I just sit in there and I'm like, I should get out. But that's about it.
It's not, I don't feel guilty about it, but I'm rewatching every Pixar movie at the moment. I've watched them all like more than 20 times each, and I'm just working I watched Finding Nemo 2 nights ago. I watched Finding Dory last night. I don't know what's tonight, but I'm working my way. It's not really a guilty pleasure, but it's a pleasure. I watched Wimbledon most years.
So you truly understand
but I didn't really understand what was happening.
Be for real, yeah. And just if everybody else clap.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great,
Yeah,
guys.
it was good.
Thank you, nice to meet you.
Thank you. Hey, told ya. They were friends.
They were friends. Things were all great.
And then
Tashi came along and ruined.
You guys want to talk about this day?
Really
I had
funny.
to spit in your face all night.
The big problem was that the spit didn't look like spit. So
No.
they had to put this gel stuff.
Yeah.
And they just got this glue and went like that. And I was like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I have to apologize for my co-stars.
Kind of bravado and confidence that I felt like I hadn't explored before. So yeah.
Love that. Could see you as Bond. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not sure I can.
You know me? What did you say? The gym.
That was it.
What did you say? The gym. What did you just call the gym earlier? Or gym work?
Oh, gym work, yeah.
Did our gym
earlier
work?
I had to explain what, like, going to the gym, and I was like, and we did some gym work. Like, I'd have to do an awful lot of gym work.
Is that it's a metaphor for life, and it's all about taking. You don't know what's coming at you, and you just gotta grab it.
I was wondering for you guys if you remember the first moment you stepped onto a film set and how that felt.
Oh goodness.
I had a terrible
do you remember?
experience. Yeah. So it was my first job out of drama
How old
school.
were you?
Like 21, because I started after drama school. Yeah,
I was like,
you were an old
like
hand
11,
at that stage.
yeah.
But I remember being in this studio, 3 Mill Studio in East London, and I stood outside for a second. I was getting some fresh air, and it just started tipping. It was like sunny, and then it was tipping it down with rain. I was like, what the hell? And I was trying to get back in. I couldn't get out. I was drenched in costume. And then someone just shouted, get off the effing set. And it was a rain machine. And I was on someone else's set.
No.
Yeah. I thought I was just having a quiet moment, but I was in the middle of like Law and Order UK. So yeah, that was my first experience.
There you go.
Well, I had mostly just done like indie films. So, you know, we're just kind of shooting on the fly and like stealing scenes. But like in terms of like my first time really on like a proper set, it was actually West Side. And that was a crazy experience because we had 4 months of rehearsals building up the characters and choreography and everything. And then your first day on set is, you know, they shut down half of Manhattan and they have like 500 backgrounds all dressed in period garb. There's buses and cars and like you are transported back to 1957. And it's like you're walking down the street.
They were able to shut down New York?
Yeah, you go down. You're walking down the street from your trailer. You
like, they
turn
didn't do
left
that in
onto
Spider-Man.
Broadway.
That's insane.
You turn left onto Broadway, and you were immediately transported back into 1957.
Wow.
And it was like, oh,
Yeah, y'all stories are way.
it's
way
like
better.
that. It was an amazing experience.
Wow, that's nice.
Well, you know, we've been doing this press tour for a little bit, and the truth is that I'm realizing more and more that like how competitive Z is. Like like today we were at a press conference and she's like, come on, we're, you know, asking a bunch of journalists and she's like, come on, who liked Tashi the best? Straight up, like unapologetic.
Right here.
And I'm like,
Anybody?
you're a monster. You're crazy.
Listen, Team Tashi over here. And Mr. Smooth Josh over here. You know there's fan edits of you on TikTok.
There's what?
Fan edits.
Fan edits.
What's that?
What are
It's like videos of you doing like different roles and with like beautiful music in the background.
Oh, really?
And they're loving you on TikTok as well. Yes, literally.
Beautiful music. What's the music?
It's like,
Spice Girls.
yeah, that kind of vibe.
Can I make a confession?
Yes.
He makes those.
Josh O'Connor's fan edits.
You're the founder of the fan club.
Yeah.
I knew it.
And I employ him.
He's doing it every
I knew
day.
it.
That's why he keeps saying, "Oh, I didn't sleep that well.
I
He's been
am.
up late,
Yeah, he's not editing.
fan
Exactly.
videos of Josh."
You had conversations with Luca about, you know, what kind of lotion does she use in the morning? You know, conversations about, you know, her child rearing.
What cinema snacks do you think are the best ones to accompany this film?
Popcorn for sure. Right?
It's a good old.
This is a popcorn movie.
This is a popcorn movie.
100%.
Sweet or salted?
Salted.
This is like the most popcorn movie. Like you're gonna be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need like an extra large or
Yeah.
two. We were doing, I feel like, was it an hour and a half tennis, hour and a half
Working out.
gym work? Yeah. I don't know.
Character.
Like, do you have stories when you were a kid of like being nervous to ask somebody for their phone number? I feel like that's kind of lost.
I'm old enough that I didn't have a mobile phone. Like, there weren't mobile phones when I was at school. So you'd ask people out by leaving little notes in their lockers. And then the worst one was, I have to say, I didn't do this, but I've got a very good friend who did, which was breaking up with someone via another friend with a bar of chocolate to say something.
Hardcore.
It's outrageous. No, it's like a different...
You gotta
I
get
guess-
creative.
But it's a different thing. I still kind of astonishes me. I'm not that old. And like,
How
so
quickly,
much isn't that kind of insane?
Yeah.
Like, I remember having my first mobile phone and being thrilled. And it was like that. I was thrilled because it was the smallest one of all my friends, and that was what the ambition was to have the smallest thing. And it was about that big. And then, like a year later, someone turned up with a camera.
I like the Nokia brick, and I play Snake.
Or the Motorola Razr. Do you remember
Razor.
that?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if she has any big moves. I think cheating on her husband's probably not the best.
Finish him.
Very distinct style, very distinct serve. I wondered how much of that was like you crafting your own tennis style.
Well, I don't think I was good enough to craft my own tennis style, unfortunately. But
That's what it is. Let's go with that.
yeah.
He crafted.
It's a distinct style. I like
Yes.
it.
I'm
but
giving it to you.
Yeah, but it is also he was supposed. I mean, in the script, he's supposed to. Fortunately, he was supposed to have a distinct style. The serve was funny because in the script, obviously he has a very kind of like distinct thing. Brad Gilbert would be showing me videos on YouTube, and he'd be like, "Look how crazy this serve is," and for me, it was like. Just a normal serve. But for a tennis player, they notice really finite details, and that's finite details to them is crazy. So we had to sort of.
That's so funny because he was like, look how weird.
Look at this weird one. I was like, oh yeah.
That's weird.
That's weird, man.
Et l'idée, c'était simplement ensuite de rester ouvert, d'échanger, de dialoguer, d'écouter, de répondre. Un travail d'acteur et d'actrice, en fait, tout simplement.
What's the sweat reel?
Okay.
Because there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Josh, I'll come
There's
to you.
an
because-
awful lot of
Yeah. How are they doing that? Is it jug of
Okay,
water?
so to be fair, Mike Weiss would, between when they call cut, we're like playing tennis.
Yeah.
And then they call cut, and then Mike's running around the court, doing laps, doing push-ups, doing star jumps. Yeah, with his one of those.
Yeah.
Skipping
Jump ropes, you guys.
That's it, yeah.
Magic wand.
We're like,
I'm starting to realise who the better player was.
Yeah.
Carry on, Josh.
So he would do all these things. So I would say 60, but most of the sweat seen on Mike Feist is his sweat. Most of mine isn't.
Right.
It's cool.
It's like
fragranced water to
both
keep me
Josh
happy.
and I were given. We met with a nutritionist. They gave us a diet. They put us. We had like the same. We all had the same coach, but a lot of the training Josh and I did together. And we're like, okay, we're gonna do this together. And I found out just like a week ago that Josh like fully was not sticking to the nutrition. He was eating whatever he wanted. Okay. And then like I would be on the bike, and Brian, who trained us, would be working me, and I'd be like masochistic and like going so hard. And meanwhile, Josh is like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. Whenever
then,
Brian turned around,
Brian would be
I was taking
like,
reps,
oh, yeah,
which is really important. If you're working out, you should take reps.
True.
Yeah,
The body needs to rebuild itself.
Yeah. I just love that.
It's balanced.
Mike's running around and Josh is just there like, can you just put the water on?
There we go.
Yeah.
Now Zendaya, I know you
smarter.
act.
The tennis sequence in wow, can't speak. In particular,
Patrick and Art are two different persons. They're quite the opposite, actually. Fire and ice. What about you in your real life? You are more fire or more ice?
I'm like a tepid water.
like a stream.
Like a small stream. It's such a privilege to see actors like transform into something else.
Very disarming.
Yeah. So I think we're all a bit of fire, ice, and
everything nice.
in between. Mostly in between.
Everything nice.
Yeah.
En tant que spectateur, on a toujours une vue très objective de ce sport. Et là, l'idée, c'était véritablement de rentrer sur le terrain et de faire vivre ce sport.
What was your experience before? How would you categorize your experience during? And now, how do you consider yourself in the tennis game after?
Awful.
Perfect.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Awful.
yeah, bad, and bad.
Will you continue playing tennis?
I can answer that. I haven't played a single bit of tennis since we wrapped. I know, but I really am not very good.
Same.
So
I don't believe it.
I came as a tennis court tonight.
This interconnection between tennis and human psychology, something that you could use as well for your performance, for your character.
I think that's a hard question. Look, I think at the end of the day, Justin Kritzky's wrote a great script. He had already done for us. So that's it.
That's the answer, of course.
I mean, it's very, very visceral in that way, and I think that's a testament to how he sees things.
Yeah, I also agree. I mean, I think like Yeah, he's.
If you have some memorable quotes or like a moment that was really, oh, she already had one, that you maybe want to share with this audience who's been patiently waiting for you guys today.
What?
Do you have like a special memory from when you were shooting the movie?
Oh yeah. Sorry, we were just trying to debate on which one of us was going to take the question.
Don't tell me what's going to happen, but like you're going to hit off.
I'll just press talk. So many people I should walk into.
I'm just gonna walk right in. Because talking to Luca, he was really adamant that I actually put on weight. And I thought, well, that's the opposite of what I was expecting because, you know, it's a tennis player, it's very cardio driven and it should be thin. And he said, no, you need to put on weight. And so my friend Julie.
Eggs, lots of eggs.
Eggs, man. 8 eggs a day. And then I was working with JJ Wolf, who's a professional tennis player out in Columbus. So that was 6 weeks prior to actually going to Boston. Then we were in Boston with Brad and our physical trainer, Brian Dew, who continued that on. And so, you know, in like that 12-week span of just like being on this regimen and then keeping it up throughout the duration of shooting.
And that he did. I know, like, between takes, between, like, we would be at base camp, and you'd see somewhere Mike is working out. Mike has put in the work.
Yeah.
By that point, I was like, I'm taking a break. I already did the work, all right? I'm supposed to be Tashi. I'm watching. I'm retired. I got a knee injury.
Most of the time, the cameras are really close to you, and you can't really be playing tennis, otherwise you'd hit the poor cameraman.
I wanted to know from each of you, what is the most surprising thing that you've learned about each other during the filming process?
Zendaya had the strongest core. Like, do you remember this?
That was back then.
I forgot about that.
That was fully insane.
I'm glad you
There
reminded
was
me of
this-
something I can brag
There was
about.
this.
Like a hold over you guys.
It was like a diaphragm thing,
Remember
you
that
know?
thing
There
we
was
had to
this
hold?
balloon.
I couldn't do it for a second.
There was like this
so
balloon,
funny.
and we would lay on it on our back.
try to,
I'm getting really awkward as I try to present this.
That is
But there
so-
was this.
I love that you
diaphragm.
remember that.
It was crazy because
Yes.
I remember, and it had this
Well,
indicator, and they instructed us to engage our core. And when Josh and I did it, like, you know, the ticker went, and we're like, oh, that's pretty good. And then Z did it, and it like broke the meter.
Oh, wow.
It actually, the needle went literally all the way.
Just a subtle
She's
question.
jacked.
You're a great basketballer, though.
No.
Oh, not
I
true?
am not.
Well, you played
I
basketball.
wish. I played basketball as a kid, and both I have a basketball family, right? My mom is 6'4", so I'm supposed to be that, but I just never. I decided to do this instead.
Yeah, the first time any of us have worked together.
Yep.
We got on brilliantly, had the best time. It was nice. I'd do it again.
Why does it sound like you're lying?
Yeah, I know it does.
It sounds
I know
like
it does,
he's
but I'm
lying.
actually
Sounds
being
so
genuine.
fake.
I know.
I was like, well, I had a good time, and I'd do it again.
If you're up
We
for it.
believe you.
Qu'est-ce que ça leur faisait de savoir qu'un film qui...
Your story is actually very
I had
funny.
a disaster because I was waiting for a long time, and the whole thing with the Met is the entrance
yes, of
and the
course.
photograph. And someone just said go, and I did, and I didn't get a single photograph. I just went straight in.
Well, learn from the pro.
Yeah,
okay, learn from the pro.
I'll help
We'll
you.
look for you this time.
How did you come across the script and
While we were shooting Challengers.
he was writing the next movie when you were shooting Challenge? Okay.
With Justin, we really clicked very much. I told him.
Because I met Justin in New York because my American agent, I just moved to New York, and I was on the phone to my agent one day and I said, I've got no friends. And so he set me up on a friend date with me. And I guess to kind of like guise it under the idea of like, this is also work, Josh. He gave me a script to read, but really it was just, Josh, here's a friend to make. So we met on 9th Street.
I was just embarrassed. Josh had also just won an Emmy at that point, and we were at this coffee shop, and people kept coming up to congratulate him.
They're not real friends, just. Anyway, so
Like, you know, and I don't know, like Josh and me, we have done a lot of theater in the past, and so that's not abnormal for that kind of a process.
I saw you in Dear in Heaven Hansen.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
So did I. Opening night. What's up?
Wow, look at you.
I was shooting Greatest Showman.
But yeah.
Keep going. I didn't want to.
No, but I mean, and for that, we had like Stephen Levinson who wrote the book for that throughout that entire process. And so being able to have the writer in there, and like for West Side, I had Tony Kushner on set all the time. And so having the ability to have those writers and those brains there, I'm able to go there as the actor and question to the point of nauseum and makes them annoyed. But it helps me so much. And it helps all the actors just to be able to kind of embody what needs to get done.
The characters don't service the story, they are the story. Now that you're wrapping up this this crazy big...
Oh wait, I didn't say another thing. A second call was to Luca, because we knew there was no other director who could make this movie.
And you were right.
I looked over at him, he's like, I'm like, what is that face? You're really thinking there.
I think, honestly, it doesn't, because Lucas said before, and he said something today, which is very true, which is that his shots shouldn't...
He's gone.
He lost
the mic. Okay, well, I'm not a homewrecker.
We don't live together.
Oh, boy, game on.
It's
Game on
so
with you three.
begins.
Yeah, and so it begins. All right there, Mike. Okay. All right, no, come on.
You're trying to... Is this a tennis match that we're about to have, you and me? We can compete.
I would love that.
She's really good,
Mike.
Lean into the complexities and flaws of these beautifully multidimensional roles.
Can I say something?
Go for it.
It's, I think personally, for myself, it's really gratifying.
And then I think the rest of the film, they're trying to claw that back and trying to recapture that.
I do have to wrap there. Mike, hello.
Oh, sorry.
Great to see you. I'm so sorry I didn't get to...
Sorry.
No, this is
Mike
great.
is very
Thank you.
upset.
I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Sorry.
You can either answer the question, you can hit it to your co-star, or you can just bat it back at me.
This is amazing.
Or hit it back at me.
Do you
No,
want...
we're thinking
Actually, can we keep these for the rest of the tour?
You 100% can keep those for the rest of the tour. All right. Who's the most competitive? Zendaya.
Me?
100.
I think it's you.
Real sweat, Josh.
Yes.
Is it
Oh, do you know why I feel like I need to do this? Yes.
Red.
Okay, you started.
Why are we holding these? I'm sorry. So is red no and black is yes, or
It can
what are
just
we
be
doing?
like, I'll take it.
Oh, it's you're
I'll take it.
taking
I see
it.
what you mean.
No, it's an
Or table
option.
tennis, or this. It's like an option. All right,
I
okay.
see.
Tennis player you studied for your role.
Yeah, this is where this doesn't work. This is where this doesn't work.
Do you know what? Skip the paddles. Fire the
No, you
basket.
came in committed. We are doing it.
We're doing the battle.
Okay, favorite movie of all time. Fine.
Both sides.
You're just gonna answer
Singing in the
question.
Rain, Indiana Jones' Last Crusade.
Good stuff. Weird habit.
Yeah. Over to someone else.
I've noticed
have any-
no weird habits.
No weird
for you,
habits?
no.
Dang.
Okay, movie you watched on the flight over.
I slept.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Killers of the Flower Moon. I can't help myself.
Sunrise.
It's so seamless. It's so seamless. Can you speak another language?
Absolutely
No.
not. This is like
Oh no.
no. Yeah, because you
Kind of.
Italian.
Who is least likely here to make it as a professional tennis player?
I think Z is more likely than me.
Oh no.
Paddle up if this is true about you.
Okay. See this works.
Yeah, this works. The paddles work now.
Yeah.
You lived in a camper van for 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
You repeated kindergarten because you were shy. There you go. Do you feel shy still, like Josh was saying?
Paddles help.
Living in a camper van would be great for you.
Yeah, it's a steamy trailer. It's a steamy movie. Are your parents' families used to seeing this now? They're just kind of okay with that, or do you still like take your grandma to a screening of this and go, "I'm just going to step outside and you can watch"?
You know what's funny? My grandma is gonna watch
Same.
this. Like she's setting a whole thing with like all her friends to go, and I'm like,
Oh, that's
Grandma,
kinda sweet, though.
it's really sweet. She loves tennis, so she was so excited that I was doing this movie. But I'm like, oh, maybe we can skip a few scenes. You know what I mean?
So your grandma's taking a group of her friends
Yes,
to see it?
yes,
Wow.
she is. She does it for every movie that I do. But she's also seen
so
Euphoria,
nice.
so
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
He's actually great.
Sorry
but-
for our
I think you need to
chaotic-
work on the rules.
Yeah.
It's
Bye.
actually like really comforting.
To have
I never know what to
something.
do with my hands in
Yeah.
these things. So it's quite nice to be holding on to something.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you? Start here.
I didn't play tennis. I had held a racket and attempted to hit it over a net when I was younger and not succeeded. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how good was I before we started? Probably 1. And when we finished, maybe 3.
Oh, wow.
Thanks very much.
That's shocked.
I love that. I was thinking that they were going to be, come on, Josh, you're being modest. In fact, they were looking at me like,
Really? A 3?
you get 3?
You're gonna give yourself a 3. Okay.
All right. Wait, do you think he's better or worse than a 3?
Worse, they think.
Because I was going to give myself a 0. Oh, gotcha.
Oh, right, okay.
And this, like, because I was giving 10, like, you know, Serena. Yeah. And I was
okay,
like, so.
if it's tennis, Serena, then I started -4.
Okay.
And ended -3.
Okay. Yeah, somewhere along. Same.
Same?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope
Squared.
this is squared.
Oh, cubed.
Cubed. Oh, gosh. I feel like I might be able to beat you guys then.
Like, if I was 1 when I started, then he's definitely 1.
I think having a really brilliant director, to be honest. I think he's obviously incredible and a visionary and someone I've wanted to work with for a very long time. So this just felt like the right thing to do together, and he just has a very keen understanding of human emotion and people.
Du coup, le workout, aller à la salle un petit peu pour se préparer pour ce film, ce qui est quelque chose qu'en règle générale, elle n'aime pas trop. Mais là, pour le coup, c'était sympathique avec justement ses collègues. Et elle espère que le tennis sera réaliste quand vous pourrez le voir dans quelques instants. How about you? Do you have a special memory? We talked earlier, and you said that the workout part was like pretty intense, right?
It was, yeah, it was pretty. I mean, I don't think I've spent longer than about 15 minutes in a gym in my entire life until this movie, and then I loved it. I'm now a complete convert, and we had the time of our lives. And as Z said, you know, we were very supportive of each other. We were all terrified at the beginning, and with Luca and this cast and Amy and Rachel.
Joining us playing Patrick Zweig, it's Josh O'Connor. How are you doing, Josh?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm all right. Firstly, I love the outfit. I had to pause my sentence half. It's very on theme, on brand.
Yeah,
I like it. Now, welcome home. You're back.
Yeah.
How was it nice being back debuting at home?
It's so nice, yeah. I've got family here and friends.
Oh.
It's lovely, yeah.
They're all
so
here to
nice be back.
support.
Oh.
So, not us.
No friend, yeah.
No friend.
I think we had great, kind of like a tennis team around us, starting with Brad Gilbert, and Eric. I don't know if Eric's here, but there's Brad. Hey.
Hi, Brad. Do you like my earrings? The tennis.
Oh, I just saw those. That's wonderful.
Like, had to be on theme, you know.
That's really great.
I got to see your movie on Tuesday Night Challengers. So
What did you think of the tennis?
I thought it was so much fun.
Okay.
It was great.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was good.
That was the
That was
most
good.
honest anybody
Yeah.
has ever been.
It was so
Thank you
much
for being
fun with
kind
all
about
of you
it.
guys together. The interaction, it looked just so natural.
Josh, I swear to God.
Show you in, Josh.
And for me, I tried to like approach it from a dance background because I was like, I'm never gonna be Serena, okay? So I might as well give that dream up now. So,
Just give it to Gab. Shout out to Venus. She's somewhere here on the carpet too. We saw her. Venus Williams, yeah. Is she here? She's in the building.
I'm about to find her. No, she's amazing. But I knew I wasn't going to be them, right? Yeah. So I realized that I had to approach it from a place physically that I understood, and for me that was dance. So I tried to approach it from like, okay, I'm learning choreography, and how do I learn this footwork or this physicality? And I really enjoyed myself.
You're a producer on this. When you read in the script or when you deliver a line like, I'm taking such good care of my little white boys, do you realize as a producer, like, oh, that's a trailer moment?
I'm taking such good care of my little white boys. You know, I don't know. I think I definitely remember the line when I read it, and I was like, I think I want to play this character, you know?
No, I want to squeeze my ball in peace.
And we have to remind people what this snake, not Mike, his character.
Immediately jumped off the page. It was so enjoyable, and I kept flipping through. I was like, no, he did it. No, she did it. Challengers was fun to make, and also just getting to work with these guys.
The three of us just had such a blast. There was a lot of playfulness on set.
This is a fun movie because it's kind of a bit of everything.
Who was your top three? Who did you?
From
most evil to least one?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh! There we go!
Yeah! My best friend in the whole world, who I've been best friends with since I was 11, loved tennis. And I used to play him every now and then. I say every now and then. I probably played him twice because he realised that he needed someone better to play with. But that was probably my first time, and I remember
every now and then.
It's
Twice.
Yeah, twice. But it's this thing of like when you get older, like you know, you suddenly get old, and you look back, and it feels like yesterday I was a teenager. And I remember when Luca asked me to do this film, and he was like, "Do you play tennis?" I haven't told you this.
Did you lie?
And I was I promise you, I wasn't.
Yes.
He was like, "No, absolutely."
Yes.
No, but I was
Here and there.
I was like, every now and then I do. I was like, every now and then I do. Yeah. So then I realised, like, oh no, that was when I was 12. And I wasn't good.
Anything to book the job, Josh.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on now. To be fair, you just put him on the spot. What about you?
Yeah.
I think.
I poorly when I was in high school.
Mike does the opposite. And
Yeah,
says
come
he's
on, Mike.
rubbish
When's the first time you picked up a tennis racket and hit a ball?
I think probably the first time was like, you know, physical education, like in middle school, you know? I feel like you have to like go through certain sports, right? And you like learn for like 2 days and then you move on to the next sporters.
Venus Williams, of course, was at the premiere. And then, Dea, you said...
I'm very nervous about her seeing my tennis. I apologize in advance.
So what did she think? What did she say?
I haven't talked to her
You
yet.
haven't?
I haven't.
Okay.
So,
Right, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
I know Serena watched it. Have you talked to her?
I did.
And what did she say?
She hates it.
She said, well,
She left me?
one thing I will say, she did love art. She called Patrick Pat. And I will say that she said, which she was like, I know there definitely wasn't real balls.
Oh.
So.
Oh, so she was watching.
She knows.
The makeout scene.
Not again.
Hey guys.
Did you play tennis before this, or?
I played very poorly in high school for 1 season because I didn't get into the school play. And that was it.
Really?
Really?
Wow. Because, like, even...
Challengers is out.
In 1 week.
And get your tickets now.
There is also that kind of conflict of interest that happens a lot. That's my piece on it.
Well said.
Yeah.
How about you?
Squared.
Same. He's like, I don't want to get too deep. You don't want to go
It's
there,
a
Mike.
long day.
He said, honey, we do not have time for this right now.
He said we can take some time.
I got a long day ahead of me. A lot of press.
A lot of sacrifices.
Yeah.
No, yeah, somewhere along the same.
Yeah. Okay. I hope
Squared.
this is squared.
Oh, cubed.
Cubed. Oh God.
Script, Luca, the other actors.
Yes, love this.
Same. Yeah, it starts with the script and Luca and these two.
Yeah.
Cubed.
Cubed. Boom.
what meaning does that shirt and who's wearing it hold for your characters in the film?
Well, there's a meaning of all shirts, because I also realized that you guys switch shirts. Like, you wear a shirt at the party that he wears in the hotel room.
Yeah.
And then there's a shirt that I have that's my shirt that he ends up wearing and keeps throughout his life. And then there's later in life, Tashi wears her husband's shirt and goes out and she's with him. So it's like there's constantly this idea of like traveling garments of clothing that interconnect them as well. But the I Told You shirt is, I believe, a real life shirt.
Yes.
From JFK Jr.
Correct. That's
There's
right.
like a paparazzi shot of him wearing the shirt.
Jonathan Anderson found lots of these images and inspired him, and one of them is this I Told You shirt. I mean, it's perfect for Patrick. It's the kind of thing he does all the time. It's so cheeky.
Like a character scaring you, and you're like, I gotta do it.
That's
you gotta conquer
but you know that, and that's the thing, right? It's like when that feeling of fear pops up within you, that's a really good indicator of you probably should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that you have had to make to get you to this point right now in your career?
Oh, what a question.
She always comes with
Yeah, that's so good.
Always...
I feel like you are making sacrifices every day. And, you know, I've got two beautiful nieces that I don't see very often, and that breaks my heart. And then I've missed my garden. And, yeah, so there's things, you know, we travel the world, so that I think the geography of that is very difficult for relationships with your family, with partners. All those things can be really tough. And then just more generally, I think something that is not talked about very often is how much of yourself you leave with a character. You know, like I've talked before about when you play a character, you take something of their soul and it stays with you. But I also think you kind of leave a part of yourself with that film. And so there is also that kind of conflict of interest that happens a lot.
I want to know more about mentally, what do you have to do to
You're
prepare?
amazing.
Thank you, love.
I'm telling you, she
I've been
always
going to
comes in
therapy
with
with
the
these
good
movies. I mean,
good
because it
questions.
has made me think about that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, like, what do you feel mentally that you have to do? What do you think it mentally takes to be a winner?
It is like mental gymnastics whenever you're going into any sort of project. I know for myself at least, whenever I'm doing a play, I have like a full-blown like routine that I do essentially, where I'll listen to like certain kind of music before I step on stage, and I will like write notes to myself, and I will do things in order to kind of get myself into the right kind of mental gymnastics that I have to do in order to get myself out there onto the stage. And it's not dissimilar to, you know, film and showing up every day, and you're just kind of have to almost like trick yourself a little bit into like showing up and bringing your whole self to the thing. And it's just about like being consistent. And luckily I think like it both gets easier and harder, you know, just depending on the day, you know, kind of a thing. The longer you're with a project, it can get easier because of the routine of it, and harder because it is a longer version, and so you have to keep that up as well. But yeah, at least for myself, I know that I have to do a bunch of mental trickery, if you will. Yeah, in order to like, okay.
You? Really?
Oh yeah.
I never would have suspected that, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that question. I think, what does it take to be a winner? I mean, I guess for me, it's always trying to not focus on the winning part. Like, I think if I thought about, oh, well, I need to win this and I need to conquer this, then I think I would lose myself in that, and also become very disappointed if I don't get it every time, if I don't hit that mark. So I really try and have been trying to lead with just gratitude, first of all, that I just get to be here and do what I do at all, and B, just for the joy and the love of it. I mean, I'm on set. I love being on set, and I honestly, to me it's my happy place. You know, it's my safety bubble. People already know who I am, so I'm pretty anonymous. I'm just another, crew member, and I love that space. And I don't even think about this part of it while I'm doing it. Like, this part is the scary part, the nervous part. Like, people have to see it. People will judge it, my work, the characters, all these other things. It becomes public, and you have to, like, let go, and it has to belong to other people. That part I don't look forward to, but the making of it is beautiful, and it's just like this little safe little bubble thing, and that's the world that I try to like honor and focus on, and then let go when it's time to give it to the world.
I want to play characters who
are complicated. I think I enjoy playing characters that maybe sometimes on paper do things that would consider them unlikable, unlovable, or irredeemable, and that being my job to make people empathize with them and care about them. I think that's one of my greatest hopes always has been with Rue, for example. It's like I always want people to empathize and love her and care about her, despite the decisions that she makes and the people that she hurts along the way, and remember that she's human and she's hurting too. And I think that just becomes like your job as an actor is just to make them as lovable as you can, no matter what harm they cause themselves or others. So I don't know, that just becomes my challenge, and I like that part of what we do.
I mean, I feel like the film generally is kind of madly intimate, whether it's the traditional intimate scenes or the tennis playing. Like, actually, arguably the most intimate the three of them is when they're on the tennis court. And I think that was always clear in Justin's script, but I think Luca really got that from day one and had a real sense of like, and that really comes across in the film, this sense of finding that intimacy and that sexiness of when they're on the court and kind of battling against each other. And I think that's why, as Z said, there's a kind of like, the coming together of the three of them at the end feels so much about intimacy.
Challenger shows the nuances and complexities of male relationships and friendships. How does Art and Patrick's journey show a side of male relationships that we typically don't see on screen? Mike, let's start with you.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of an interesting thing, just from Art's perspective, is this, you know, we were talking about this last night, it's this idea of like, Art arguably is the least talented tennis player amongst the two of them. And so because of that, his insecurities are always in the driver's seat with every kind of unconscious decision that he is making. And so he gloms onto these two and is attracted to them because of the natural abilities and their just secure selves. And he wants to have that so desperately that he kind of wants to consume them. Yeah. And so you see at the beginning of the film, the two of these two, it's like through osmosis, they're kind of like the same person almost. And then as later in life, when the marriage happens here, it's, you know, it takes on that kind of form as well. And so it is this interesting thing of like, you're attracted to someone because of what they have, and so you kind of want them, but you want the idea of them, but you don't actually want them.
Yeah. This is something that like I couldn't stop like turning the page and wanting to know. And I felt like every time I read it, I felt differently about my character, about their characters, and there was just so much being said on the page, but I think also so much that was unsaid.
You just said it was a page turner because you wanted to know what happened. So did you want to know who you ended up with?
I wanted to know everything. Yep. I think I'm still confused. I think every time I watch it, I'm like, what? I question their decisions. I'm wondering why they make the choices that they make, and I think that's what's so fascinating about it. And every time I watch it, I empathize with a different character.
Action for him, you know, it's like people come out of this movie and you get these kind of extraordinary, like, very strong views about. You know, Tashi's terrible, Patrick's terrible, Art's a hero, and then the next person will come out and go, Patrick's a hero, Art's awful, and I would just put my hat in the ring and just say that I think they're all flawed, but they're all beautiful. So, so I've got a lot of affinity for them.
A lot of young girls talk about wanting to be you or be like you. How do you respond to those young girls? So you're not way older than them, but you're just that little generation older than them experiencing that.
Yeah, I think if anything, I want to remind people that I'm just a person, just a human like anybody else. I am nowhere near perfect, as no one is. and that I'm still figuring it out. And if anything, my path looks different than yours. Yours is extraordinarily your own, and I'll never be able to do the things you can do, you know? So it's just about, I think, living in and existing wholly as whoever it is that you want to be, and knowing that I'm doing the same. And I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be myself every day. And that it's okay. It's okay to take your time, and it's okay not to know, and it's okay to stumble and be confused and all these kinds of things, because that's just part of living life and being a human being, and that's all we can do. So if anything, it's just about like me existing as myself and hoping that that in some way allows someone to exist as themselves. So yeah, I don't know. I hopefully that answers some of the question.
This is a common opinion I've been hearing about this film, especially from male audiences. They say the beautiful part of this, of Challengers, is how beautifully it shows male psychology and male behavior. And I wanted to ask you, what do you think about that? And do you think there's such thing as a common denominator gender-wise?
You guys are both looking at me?
Well, I looked at him and he looked at you, so I looked at you too.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you've been skating without answering.
I've been
for
just
a couple.
like laying low, trying to get away with it.
Get on out of there.
Look, I can only speak for myself, but...
No, speak for all of us.
All right, fair enough. When I read the script, the thing that jumped out at me was this friendship. It was one of the appeals to doing it. And, you know, I think for art, and I can only really talk about my character, I guess, in this regard, is this idea of, you know, a person who is attracted to someone's qualities because of the lack of what they have. So in both Tashi and Patrick, you know, both of these players are both better at the game than Art, but at the same time, they have a certain kind of sense of self that Art does not have. And so he's kind of drawn to those two in that way, and he kind of wants to take on their persona like through osmosis. And that's what happens until the end, as we pick it up at the end of this person's career, where he sees the writing on the wall and he sees that there's only so much time he really has left, and he starts to actually question himself, well, what else is there actually for me? And I think that there is this kind of thing that happens with people in general, where you kind of unconsciously make decisions because of that's what you're supposed to do, until you get to a certain place in time where you start to actually realize, hang on a minute, I'm actually not being very authentic to who I am. And I wonder what that would look like if I started being actually honest with myself. And I think that happens with all three of these characters throughout this entire film.
I mean, I think Mike said it perfectly. Look like you're just given up. God damn it, you took all the good ideas. So much in this film of like nearly, and there's so much of like them taking, you know, like, and a lot of the scenes are like mini tennis matches. You know, it's like the dialogue that Justin wrote is a kind of like back and forth, and people trying to undermine each other. And you would be doing these scenes together, and you'd be like, oh my God, I'm winning. And then it's like, oh no, she's winning. Or like, you know, whatever it was, it feels like a back and forth, like a tennis match. Yeah. And so I think when you have the actual tennis matches, that's almost like the release. Yeah. So I think it kind of represents that the sort of sex scenes in the movie.
She does have this ruthlessness to her and this unapologetic nature, but I also think that there's so much like going on inside. When tennis is taken away from her, there's a grief that she never really deals with. We get to see the breakdown of this shell.
What was interesting, we've talked about a few times, like when you're tennis players that have talked about being on the court before have talked about being very isolated on one side of the court, and it's quite a lonely profession. And there were moments in some of these scenes where you feel so isolated and you feel very removed. And there's different moments in this film where Art feels very alone, or Tashi feels very alone, or Patrick feels very alone. And And then really at the end, you know, with this the challenger that goes through the film, I feel like they're all just reaching for each other and trying to be brought back together. So, yeah, it was the perfect setting. It wouldn't work with baseball, would it?
No.
It wouldn't quite work.
Not so
Terrible.
We joke and we say that this is like codependency, the movie, right? And it's because each of these characters are trying to get something out of life that they can't get on their own. And that, no matter what, in any form of life, is going to manifest itself in something toxic, something painful, because you can't live life that way through vicariously living through other people or needing something from other people in a hole, in a void that you can't get on your own. And ultimately, that's what they're all looking for, whether it be through tennis, whether it be through loving each other, hating each other. They are always linked, and there is something that they need from each other forever to have a full life. And whether they want to admit it or not, whether they are happy or not. And we watch it go from something that's joyous and fun when they're young to something that's, you know, they're falling apart and doing whatever they can to keep their life together or to get the spark back that they once had when we saw them when they were young. So for me, the overarching thing is just, it's codependency. It's filling a void, and they're trying to desperately do that for each other.
Wow.
And it's an extraordinarily intense thing to watch in the film and a pleasure to see it in real life. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike,
Thank you
Zendaya,
so much.
Josh, thank you very much indeed.
Zendaya, Mike,
Josh. We got it.
So well done.
Thank you. Thank you.